love of liberty, in the fires of hope and prayer, with boundless faith in our destiny, we solemnly declare. Side by side we stand, islands of the blue Caribbean Sea, this our native land. We pledge our lives to thee. Here every creed and race find an equal place, and may God bless our nation. Here every creed and race find an equal place, and may God bless our nation.
Heavenly Father, we come before you at the start of this new day, giving thanks for life, for health, and the opportunity to serve through this station. We ask for your divine presence to guide us in all we do. Bless this broadcast, that it may be a source of inspiration, joy, and unity to all who tune in. Whether near or far, may our words uplift, our music heal, and our message bring light to those who need it most. We pray for our listeners wherever they may be. Grant them strength for the day ahead, peace in their hearts, and success in all they put their hands to. Cover those traveling with your protection, and those at home with your comfort and provision. Lord, may everything we do bring honor to you and be a blessing to others. Guide our steps, bless our efforts, and let this station be a vessel of positivity and hope. In your name we pray. Amen.
Your voice, your soundtrack, your station. New Era TT Radio. NETT Radio.
Stopping for a break at all. You go dig yourself when you collapse and fall. I say look how everybody else having fun. You are alone with it like a pony one. All day long having none. We rockin' all night tonight. We rockin' all night tonight. So relax and take it light. Everything gonna be alright. I don't want no sad news. Me ain't taking no. I don't want no excuse. When I reach, let's go. You hear me? We rockin' all night tonight. We rockin' all night tonight. So relax and take it light. We rockin' all night tonight. Hey, hey. Don't go there, 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 don't go there. you just can't let them wear you to the bone. I say, look how everybody else having fun. You are alone with it like a poem in one. All day long, having none. We rocking all night tonight. We rocking all night tonight. Don't want no fussing, no fight. Everything gonna be alright. I don't want no sadness. I ain't taking no. I don't want no excuse. When I reach, let's go. You hear me? We rocking all night tonight. We rocking all night tonight. So relax and take it light. We rocking all night tonight. Hey, hey. Having fun. You are alone with it like a pony one. All day long, having fun. We rocking all night tonight. We rocking all night tonight. So relax and take it light. Everything gonna be alright. I don't want no sadness. I ain't taking no. I don't want no excuse. When I reach, let's go. You hear me? We rocking all night tonight. We rocking all night tonight. So relax and take it light. We rocking all night tonight. Hey, hey.
Wake up, rise up. It's the NETT Radio Breakfast Show. Bringing you the energy, music and vibes to start your day right.
Oh yes indeed, we rocking. We rocking all night, all morning, all day and every day. Hey everybody, good morning to you wherever you may be tuning in, coming in, wherever you may be, whatever different time slot, time zone. Guess what? We are so happy to have you. So Trinidad and Tobago, good morning. Neighbors in the Caribbean, good morning. Our friends and family streaming all around the globe, good day to you, and thank you so much for making us your choice each and every day. We know you have choices, and we are happy that we are your main choice, your mainstay in the morning. This is New Era TT Radio, NETT Radio. It is NETT Radio, yes. The heartbeat of the Caribbean, taking you above and beyond. We work very hard to make sure we do that. Let me say much thanks to the Heavenly Father for bringing us together for another day. And all that we do, dear God, let it be a blessing unto your people. Sir Charles, that is me. Happy am I to be in this space. As we welcome you to the Get Up and Go. Remember, this is your breakfast show.
Get up, it's the time to start the day. The breakfast show is here. We bring in the soca way.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Wake up, it's a brand new dawn. The breakfast show got the vibes turned on. From Morocco's Bay to the Savannah line. Let's start the day in Caribbean prime. Oh, good vibes rolling through the air. The breakfast show, energy everywhere.
Okay, so we are here for another day, another beautiful Thursday. It is. It's a throwback Thursday. You know, Thursdays are throwback here on the net. Yeah, so we are throwing it back for you very, very hard. So we welcome you. Thank you so much for being here. Of course, we are streaming, beaming, coming to you from the beautiful, gorgeous Twin Island Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. There's never ever a dull moment in between this space, but we do our best to maneuver and live with it. It's our space. So we thank you, we welcome you, and let me say good morning to Richard, who I'm sure will join us at some point in time, and of course Wendell, who's here very early as always. So Wendell, good morning to you.
Morning, Sir Charles. Morning, Richard. Morning, Trinidad and Tobago. And good morning, listeners and viewers all over the globe. It's Thursday morning. It's a kind of, I don't know, gloomy, if it's for want of a better word, kind of morning. The atmosphere certainly looks a bit hazy, But again, that's how it was for the last few days. Huh? It might be Saharan dust we still have in our atmosphere. My cameras, I don't know what's going on with my camera again this morning. It's pixelating a lot, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, my shoulders sometimes missing and half of my face and all kind of thing. Anyway, we're happy to be in the land of the living. Happy birthday to Bishop Ashton Clark, who listens to us. He messages us. I think he messages you, Sir Charles.
Yes, he does.
Yes, today is his birthday.
All right, Bishop, good morning to you. Happy birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday, Bishop Clark. Shirin Aziz Kublal Singh. She's a regular blogger on Facebook. Sometimes we agree, sometimes we don't. Rondell Carrillo, Adrian Boggs, Andrew Adrian Boggs, right? That's it. David C.B. Smith and Annabella Cynthia. They're all celebrating birthdays today. Today is May 21st. Am I correct?
Yes, you are.
Right. Oh, so tomorrow is my sister's birthday. Media's birthday is tomorrow. And John Benoit is the day after. Morning, John Benoit. He assisted me in getting some information yesterday that I tried my very best to get that interview today. But I didn't get a response. The doctor, Dr. Agard, who's doing the cataract surgeries, was on his show yesterday. And it was a most informative program, an excellent program. I praise John. I said that's the best interview I'll ever do on our station. And he did send me the doctor's number, but I wasn't able to get a response, But hopefully I will, because he's been very busy. They start early in the morning and go late on an evening. So maybe he just didn't get a time to look or listen to the messages yet.
Yeah, it has been long days, and I'm thankful that there's a couple of persons that we know who have been able to go and get the cataract surgery. We were talking to actually one person after 8 o'clock,
Okay.
So how the process was for her and stuff.
Right. Well, the doctor explained it yesterday, and he was very thorough in terms of explaining, and his praise for the Indian doctor, who goes by the name of Dr. Jacobs. I heard him say the doctor from India, and his name is Dr. Jacobs. But that's not. I guess that's not unusual for some people.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they have a lot of volunteers there, helping out. I mean, it really was an amazing thing that I was listening to yesterday, and the aftercare. Of course, he said if people had the measurement, I think there's a measurement for cataract, that if they could bring that, it will save time. And some people are actually coming. He said it does not need an operation. You understand? But they're still having a look at them under the tents, and then they'll say, well, listen, your situation is not, it does not warrant an operation. So all of that is actually happening by the hundreds down at the 7-day hospital. It really was a very informative interview.
Yeah, because sometimes you may have a mild cataract, so it's not at the point where you need to worry about it as yet in any way, So
yeah. So it was, and he did say that they had to get approvals from the government. So there was governmental involvement in terms of approval, because they can't just say, well, you go ahead, go ahead and do all they want. So he said they did work with the Minister of Education in terms of commissions and so on, but it's a venture entirely from the Seventh-day Adventist Church, you know, entirely, and they all doing it for free. You know what I mean? So some people did, in fact, pay for their measurement, their initial screening, but no, you don't have to pay. It's entirely free. You know?
That's excellent, man.
Yeah, I was just hoping I get a response from the man, because I actually messaged him right after the show because John had sent the number for me. You know, it's an overseas number though. You know, I was hoping I'd get a response because I so enjoyed that interview. You know?
Yeah, well, hopefully he just might touch base with you during the morning.
Well, at least before they leave in next week, when the 26th. That's they have some days into next week.
Yeah, that's about Tuesday.
Yeah, yeah, Tuesday. Yes, Tuesday. Yeah, and of course they're not working on Saturdays naturally because of Seventh-day Adventists. You know.
Yeah, so you have 1, 2, 3, basically about 4 more days.
Yeah.
Thursday, Friday, Sunday, Monday.
But of course, the news that occupied everybody's time yesterday was the alleged confession of the saying stepfather. They were saying father at one time of the child. We don't know how true it is, but that was on all the news yesterday. Yeah. And that they were going back searching different places, and you know, so but up to now, I mean, unless something happened during the last couple hours, they've not found the child.
No, that is the strange thing, you know.
Yeah.
Whatever, wherever, it's a strange kind of thing that's happening.
Yeah.
And I understand there are quite a bit of people looking, you know.
Yeah.
Besides what you were seeing there. They say like, you know, this is what I like. They say like the whole lot of Tobago looking, you know.
Well, how do you find a child that probably ended up in the sea 10 days ago, 11 days ago? How do you find that person?
Well, they are saying that even if it's that, it would surface by a certain time, you know.
Well, surface where?
Well, where it will surface.
Because this is a very tiny body, yeah? You know? But I want to know, and for the legal minds that are listening, and here comes one. Morning, Richard. So let me ask you one time. What happens in a case of somebody allegedly confessing and no body is found? Can a charge be proffered on that person? What happens in that case? I thought about this thing whole last night, and I said, who to call? And I said, you know what? I'll just wait on the breakfast show and ask my question. Can a charge be proffered on someone who may have made a confession? What kind of charge would be proffered on that person? If any.
And there's nobody.
And there's nobody. That's what I was wondering. I was reading through some comments from people, and they say somebody who identified themselves as a criminologist and so on, said that no charge could be proffered. They were saying that, you know.
I mean, you really need evidence that death occurred. You know, now circumstantial evidence, well, because the child is missing, in terms of something like that. But you really need, because for the charge of murder, if that's where you're going to hold, you must have had the intent and the act must have happened. I'm just trying to wade through it logically. So you must have proof that has happened, or the argument has to be by the prosecutor, because the prosecutor is the one who's going to have to make that argument, that there is overwhelming circumstantial evidence, because the child cannot be found, that there is a presumption of death. And this ex-person is accusing, but it's going to be difficult, I think. I mean, I'm not a criminal lawyer.
Right now in the arena,
so
it's 20.
I can't say for sure that there are criminal lawyers. Well, you know, a good criminal lawyer. He could weigh in on it and how that would work. Because, I mean, the first thing probably It probably have to be mentally assessed too, as one thing too, I would think. But it would be a lot of fodder for the defense to create reasonable doubt.
Yeah, I'm saying too, maybe if charges are in fact proffered, that will fall by the wayside eventually.
Well, it depends.
If nobody is found there, I'm just saying it in the context of nobody being found.
Yeah. There would have been precedent for things like that, but as I said, I'm not a criminal lawyer, so a criminal lawyer will better understand how that dynamic would work and how could it work. And a criminal defense attorney would probably make some really robust arguments why that person
Because
should
we
not.
see how so many matters falling apart lately in terms of charges being brought
The first thing a defense attorney would look at is the confession and whether the confession was coerced. Was there pressure? Is he trying to protect somebody?
Yeah.
All of those things come into it too.
Yeah.
So
Diana Hamill is saying a charge can be laid once other circumstances can support same. But what are those other circumstances? I guess some of what you're talking about, Richard.
Well, the child has not been found. So is there enough circumstantial evidence that indicates death? Is there blood in the house? Is there, evidence of something would have happened? Is there verification that that's the child's blood? I don't know.
Yeah.
As I say, I'm not a criminal attorney, so I'm just trying to be logical about it.
Yeah.
But there are criminal attorneys in the stream. They can weigh in.
Yeah. Well, that you provided
a sense of how that would work.
Yeah. I just found it interesting, especially I was waiting up watching posts and so on, following things, and I yet to hear about a body being found. And I'm saying,
they're still looking. I mean, they have zoned in on the dump for some reason. The Studley Park dump. I don't know if they're still there. But that would be a hell of man. I mean, I don't know. It's a bizarre story.
It is.
It's really a bizarre story. What turned out to be a disappearing child has morphed into something more sinister and dark than a child just, wandering where he should not have wandered and maybe met some, accident. It has become very bizarre.
Yeah.
I mean, Tobago has to be even more rocked by it than Trinidad. I mean, Trinidad is rocked by it because Trinidad is like, what the hell? Where is this story, this never-ending story going? And how bizarre can it still become?
Yeah. A retired officer just sent me a message. He said,
I know all of it before in the sunshine. It's sickening really.
He said a man was charged years ago in Tobago and convicted in a similar matter where nobody was found. State versus Lal. He said Inspector Dinoon was the complainant. Another person sent me, he's also an old officer, sent me, yes, someone can absolutely be charged and convicted of murder even if a victim's body is never found. And then they went into some other things. But I guess they would, as you said, and as Diana Hamill said, you have to find some sort of evidence linking that there was in fact a murder.
Yeah.
I would imagine you have to find some evidence that, like in the case of blood or whatever. I think, but the Naipaul Coolman murder, was that a similar circumstance when no body was ever found, but they found blood and all the other things. Eventually, all those people went free, I think, right?
Yeah, they all went free.
Yeah.
Well, I think two had to go back to a retrial, and I don't know what happened post that. I think two out of the group, because it was quite a few, it was like 11 or 12, I can't remember how many of them were. That case went on for years. The actual case went on for about 1 or 2 years, because So beyond the weight for the case, the actual case, because there was some interesting arguments and stuff in that case, and there was a battery of lawyers.
Yes.
There were a battery of lawyers in that case. I actually appeared in that case, but not as of course, a defense attorney, as another issue. Issue that arose in the case.
Right.
So yeah.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what happens over the next few days, because this alleged confession came yesterday, 24 hours ago. They said it was yesterday morning early.
Yeah.
So, but nothing has broken as yet, still in that matter. You know? Crazy.
He should probably be involved in that case. They wouldn't want to just leave it up to the police prosecutor. I would assume that's where my mind would go. If it is that you want to really make sure the legal I's are dotted and T's crossed, you would want to review that case thoroughly. And to me, if I was the DPP, I'd assign an officer to look at what's happening in terms of the evidence, what is accruing in that case.
The DPP's record ain't that great these days, you know.
Yeah, well, I mean, I know they have been under-resourced, but as Omlala says, that under-resourced issue is years old. It's not new, and they've always been clamoring, and and a lot of times, like Omlala said, and which I agree with, a lot of times there are cases that are charged by police officers that have no merit to go before the court, and it is taking up court space and court time and affecting people's lives when the charge is purely out of spite.
Guys, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but the time is running very tight.
Just to answer Ron DeSantis Jr. Ron, yes, because they actually had a cadaver dog at the dump. I saw it on video, that there was a dog there, a cadaver dog, right? So they do have, right? Just to answer your question.
All right, in between all of that, let's see if we can still get in some good news.
There's a laminated card nailed to the front door of roughly 29 million homes in rural China. It lists the family's names, their monthly subsidy, and one other thing: the name and personal phone number of the party official whose career depends on getting that specific family out of poverty. Between 2013 and 2020, China registered 89.62 million people across 832 counties into a national poverty file system. Each household got a checklist: no worry about food or clothing, plus guaranteed education, basic medical care, and safe housing. Roughly 3 million officials were dispatched into villages to manage individual files. In one village in Guizhou, a district official named Luo Winshui arrived to find 137 poor households and 52 officials already assigned to help them. That's nearly one official for every 3 families. If your assigned households didn't clear the poverty line, you lost promotion eligibility, bonuses, sometimes salary. Western anti-poverty systems count people in poverty nationally and distribute resources through agencies. There is no named official accountable for that file clearing. No one loses their job if a specific family is still poor next year. But instead of just throwing resources at the problem, China reformatted the problem itself. 5 indicators, a checklist, a name on the door. The tool doesn't exist in the West, not because we think it's a bad idea, but because we never even thought of it. And that's worth sitting with regardless of.
All right.
Accountability.
Ultimately, that's what they did. But in Western democracies, even like Trinidad and Tobago, that's a little bit more complicated. China is pretty, autocratic in certain things. But in Western democracies, you putting up a poster of some sort outside somebody's house, basically saying they're poor. This is the official assign. Ain't go sit well with the citizens of democracies.
Yeah.
You gotta find another way to do that.
But you don't actually have to put out a particular sign. But the matter, if you have people assigned to walk people try to walk them out of that poverty, and they held accountable.
Yeah, you're right. You'd have to do a different way to accomplish it. And in terms of that, and you might not be able to, in a democracy, just tell them they will lose their salary and stuff like that, because they have labor laws and all of that will kick in. But you might be able to say you can't get a bonus, you can't get this, or you will get a bonus if you get 5 people out, or it would have to be done a little differently.
Yeah, and at least but at least some measure, because like whatever we have here, nobody, I suppose, is checking to see if we had 10 persons on the list, and they are now moving in a particular direction, rather than with our service, we're trying to get people over the system. In the sense that they come by a house and they see a TV and say, things looking good with you now, come off.
Yeah. Sometimes they make shallow decisions like that. You're right. Yeah, because sometimes having a TV is not indication that you're still not poor, and you're still not struggling. But we make how the mechanisms are to get people who are in need and get them out of that need position into a more stable, and enjoyable, in terms of the UAE, and in terms of the sheikh that was in charge of the transformation, or led the transformation of UAE. One of the things that they did was something called happiness, and they actually had a division that dealt particularly with happiness and whether any policy decision would affect the happiness of citizens in that would be affected by it. So they used that system of happiness. Didn't have legislate that division of happiness. I'm calling it division of happiness. Didn't have enforceable authority, but things would be reviewed by them. And there was an intersect, because the objective was that you make your citizens happy. And it may seem simple as a concept, but in terms of translating it, when you look at Trinidadians and Tobagonians across the 2 islands and the roughly 1.4 million people, how many are happy right now with the state of their lives? And what is government's part in that, in facilitating that your citizens be happy? Yeah. It's an interesting question in terms of when you see people walking around every day and living their lives, paying their mortgages, paying their loans, struggling to get a job, whatever it is that people deal with in an everyday life, whatever they have to deal with, hospital, healthcare, and all of that. Where does happiness fit into it? Because ultimately, you would like a country where people are generally happy and are living a life that has possibilities and that they're aspirational and feel they can achieve what they want to achieve. And how do you create that? Because that's the goalpost. Well, it should be the goalpost. But is it really the goalpost for governments that have led us?
Yeah. Maybe something we could probably expand in the next hour. Wendell, let's greet people very quickly.
Yeah, let's do that. The assistance of my assistant there. Felix Kazo came in first this morning at 12:01. Joyce Phillip, good morning. Ava Smith, Pamela O'Connor, Erica Charles, Eunice Dublin, Odell Guy, Trinman, Pleasant Thursday, Deborah Noel Surrett, Michael Cadet, Victor Phillip also says good morning. Margaret Thomas, Robert Allen, good morning to all. Happy Throwback Day. Manuela Peter, Diane Payne, Apollinus, Marlon Motley from North Valsain.
Morning, Marlon.
Manager, that's Norris Ferguson. Prabha Ramdial, this football player story has gone dead. Boy Bidesi, Carol Guevara, Sis Super, God is our refuge and strength, a very present help in times of trouble. Wayne Ramsey, Wayne morning.
What you do is you only read the ones that reference God. You read the whole comment. I need to know when to pause, so just let me know, please.
Sir Charles is metamorphosizing through me when I see those messages.
Oh.
That's Sir Charles coming through me. Read this. Anthony Miguel, good morning. Kenny and Harlem, good morning. Debbie Modest, Valerie Mendoza, Kathy Ann Charles says special morning to Ali, that Stephen Marcia Rock in Orlando, Florida. Gavin Frank, Trini Merle Kitchen, Carla Hercules, Keith Clark. I wonder if there's a Keith Clark I know from up Bellevue, DB side. Maria Cellier, morning guys. This is from to Suzanne, Suzette, Maria H, Miss Jackman and Miss Gemma. Ingrid from Tucson, Arizona. Dave Gosain, Terrence Roach, Slick Money Grip, Sankofa sends a link. I don't know to what Sankofa. We can have links here. Brent Hackshaw, good morning, gentlemen. Diana Hamill says good morning, everyone, and happy birthday to Archbishop Ashton Clark. Your Sunday services provide deep inspiration. Thank you and God bless. Is Ashton Clark? He's in Canada, not so, yeah?
Yes.
I think he is. Okay. So David McCarthy also says top of the day. Michael Eastman, Margarita Chow, Bernadette and Nelicia Yates. Ashton Clark is also sending greetings from Brampton, Ontario. Happy birthday, Bishop Clark. Nicole Sankofa say, I buy my watermelon from a chap who is about 95% blind. He sells fruits and wash cars. I told him and he went. I have not gotten an update from him. Okay, nice. Well done, Sankofa. Kim Govaya, pleasant good morning to all. Alistair Hart says, good morning. So sad, can you be charged without a body? That was the discussion just now. Shema Paul, our criminal attorneys have not weighed in on it at all. Nicola McNichols is asking the same question. Kim Govaya, that's what I thought too. Wendell, yes, a charge can be laid once other circumstances can support. Same Carlisle Cupid says blessings. It's difficult, however, there have been convictions for murder without a body in the US and the UK. Kim Govaya, 9 days and no body for a 2-year-old. That body may be far in decomposition. Sankofa say not so dark. Ron DeSantis, yes, there are cadaver dogs. Magic Grand Rising, a lot of rechatters here. Mrs. R, yes, he does that, Rich. Look at how you join your husband in this problem with God. I would, just for spite, any message that have God in it, I read in it. Just for you. Good morning, Mrs. R. Robert Taylor says good morning. Sankofa divine greetings again. And CJ from New York sending love and positivity. God.
That is my window.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Kent, good morning to you. Also to Patsy, good morning. CJ is out in Tobago having a good time. Mr. Augustine, good morning to you. Margaret Thomas, good day. Frank in Aruka. Tyler and Kelly in Canada. Rena Budrijanis, good morning. Zena, good morning. Foxy, good morning. Terry and Peters, good to be getting up with you this morning. Peter Wilson, good morning. And of course, Charlene, who's on the chat very early. All right, so we're really running behind time. So let's take that break. It's now 21 minutes before the hour of 7 o'clock. Stay with us on The Breakfast Show.
S&H Rumbox, 137 Western Main Road, St. James, for all your retail and wholesale needs for alcohol and non-alcoholic beverages. Call us at 686-0599 or visit us at 137 Western Main Road, St. James. S&H Rumbox, drinking out of the box. It's the Grand Clearance Sale at Fats International Styles. Everything must go. All clothing, only $100. Sneakers, just $200. Yes, you heard right. Massive deals, unbeatable prices while stocks last. Visit Fats International Styles Arima opposite Castro's restaurant. Don't miss your chance to grab the hottest styles at crazy clearance prices. Hurry in today because once it's gone, it's gone. St. Teresa Preschool presents their fundraising boat ride, Dancing Under the Moonlight, on Saturday, the 23rd of May, 2026. It's a collaboration of colors on board the Island Royalty. Bring your own coolers. Boarding time, 11 p.m. Sailing, 12 midnight. Music by DJ Chaotic from Sweet 100 FM. Kryptonite Sounds with Mr. Flavor of NETT Radio TT. Dress code, elegantly casual. Gorgeous ladies wear blue. Handsome gentlemen wear pink. Admission, early bird tickets $200. Regular $250. No oversized cooler. For more information, call 375-6527-719-3379. Dancing Under the Moonlight aboard the Island Royalty.
Scandal in
Cipriani College, we are back. The box office smash Scandal in Citrus is back. We are back because you demanded it for 3 nights only. Friday the 29th and Saturday the 30th of May at 8:30 p.m. and Sunday the 31st at 6:30 p.m. Tickets available now at usual outlets and online. Scandal in Citrus, we are back at Cipriani College. See it again or see it for the first time. Don't miss it.
Scandal in Citrus.
Advertise with us on New Era TT Radio, the fastest growing streaming platform for talk in Trinidad and Tobago. Audio and video ads welcome. Elevate your brand with us. Connect with us at newerattradio@yahoo.com or call us at 299-5156. Now what are you waiting for?
We are back. And I
but
guess
should you just go straight into Did You Know, Sir Charles, so that we could then be able to take calls and stuff?
you don't want to do headlines?
All right, sorry, I forgot headlines. Sorry.
People, you have gotten cogent evidence once again on the breakfast show. Cogent evidence.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
All these stories trending in today's Express Online. Trinidadian writer Jamir Nazir, the winner of the Caribbean category of the 2026 Commonwealth Short Story Prize, has been accused of using AI for his winning story, The Serpent in the Grove. That's one of the trending stories. I killed Angelo and threw him away. That's another story, of course, that is relative to the story of the missing child in Tobago. Night falls without Angelo being found. Cops kill home invader. The boy in the cane field, and man found dead after desperate 999 call for help. Now that is a story, a worrisome story, because it says the body of a Las Lomas man was found by police on Wednesday morning, 36 hours after he dialed 999 and told officers he was chopped in a cocoa field and needed help. Adrian Peter Duff told officers he was unable to get out of the field as he was severely injured. He directed the officers to Esperanza Trace and gave them a number for one of his close friends. Then the call ended. Police say a search was mounted involving officers and Duff's friends and relatives, but they found him dead. That is a crazy story. Now, the story doesn't say how long after the search was launched, right?
That would be the issue.
Oh, Lord. Trinidad, I don't know, no? Anyway, morning to Carl and Jack also joining the show.
Okay, that is it?
Yeah, that's it for the Express.
All right, so the Trinidad and Tobago Guardian, which seems a little bit better organized in terms of giving you the trending stories than what Wendell just read. Strangled and dumped at sea. Male relative confesses to killing baby Angelo, body yet to be found. And of course, they're saying strangled and dumped at sea. Now, how could you, I cannot even understand in my brain how you could I mean, I know it happens across the planet, but how do you kill a defenseless little child? I mean, that is beyond sick. Beyond. If this is true, let me give that.
Well, it doesn't have to be true in this case, Richard, but it has happened before.
Yeah,
how could you even kill a? Could you kill a defenseless child? Is beyond reasoning.
Yeah, it's like, you know.
And deliberately kill her. I'm not talking accidental here.
Yeah, you deliberately go after that child. That's crazy and beyond belief. And I don't know. It takes you into, you know, a depressing view of humanity.
Mm-hmm.
Camille and Saddam trade words over procurement and housing projects. As procurement battle brews, Bokaro residents await answers. Roberts has no intention of resigning from UNC despite defection to PNM. Investigators probing Joshua Samaru's killing meet with DPP. Business news. Trinidad Express to cut journalists in restructuring exercise. Months after one of the country's newspapers closed its doors, another has informed staff that it is retrenching employees. Credit ratings and the NGC. What did NGC hide from Moody's and TNT in brackets? That's another question. That's a story that's brewing just under the radar. Eh?
Yeah.
What the hell is going on in NGC? What is going on? That Moody's withdrew from giving you a rating because you didn't provide enough information, which is incredulous because you are supposed to be transparent. Gasoline prices rise across most of CARICOM. Hawaii, modern payment system cannot wait. And in sports, Prasad takes over as president of Cricket Ontario. Peter's bold red force the historic West Indies Championship title, and Lewis' unbeaten century keeps Red Force on title path. That's it for the Trinidad and Tobago Guardian. So you got some trending headlines, business, and sports news.
Great. Now we can get into the, you know.
Did you know one of the Caribbean's most famous exports has a history deeply connected to sugar, trade, and colonial power? That product is rum. Rum's origins are tied to sugar production. When sugarcane was processed, a byproduct called molasses was left behind. Workers discovered it could be fermented and distilled into alcohol, creating rum. During the colonial era, rum became a major part of global trade. It was exchanged across regions and even played a role in the transatlantic trading system. Over time, rum production became more refined, distillation techniques improved, and different islands developed their own styles, flavors, and traditions. Rum became more than a product. It became part of Caribbean culture. It is linked to celebrations, storytelling, music, and social gatherings. Today, Caribbean rum is recognized worldwide for its quality and heritage. It contributes to tourism, exports, and national identity across the region. From sugarcane fields to global recognition, rum carries a complex history of culture, industry, and resilience. A true Caribbean legacy. If you didn't know, now you know. For more great content, listen to netradiott.com, follow us on social media, leave a comment. We'd love to hear from you.
Rum. Rum is also a big part of calypso, soca, and chutney.
Rum is human being. You know, there's several. I wonder if anybody ever do a research on the amount of rums they have worldwide. Because there are some countries have plenty more rums than we do, eh? You know? They're not as potent as our rum, and probably Grenada rum or Grenada, Jamaica, and Trinidad and Tobago might have the strongest rums.
And Barbados.
Barbados rum is so strong.
Barbados rum is one of the more popular rums globally. And Jamaican rum.
Yeah, I know Jamaican Rare Nephew and Grenada's Clark's Court. And of course, our punching, you can't get stronger than that. I don't think they're stronger than that. Clark Scott may compete with it, but the strong rum.
Who does make the Jack Iron?
Jack Iron is Grenada too. Jack Iron, I think, is what they call is it strong rum too? I'm not sure. Yeah.
One of the interesting articles in The Guardian was what the Central Bank Governor, Larry Hawaii, is talking about. And this is where, Wendell, I have to give some level of kudos to the UNC, even though the Central Bank is kind of separate from the government, but in pushing things forward. No, but I mean, it's a kind of, as I say, the Central Bank is different. It's an independent institution, so I don't know that it's really, but it's legislation that has to go before Parliament. But Central Bank Governor Larry Hawaii has stressed that TNT cannot wait any longer to modernize its payment system as he opened the launch of a public consultation on the long-anticipated draft payment systems and services bills and regulation aimed at strengthening financial stability, encouraging innovation, and expanding digital payments. Speaking at a consultation which took place at the Central Bank yesterday, Hawaii framed the initiative as part of a broader transformation of the financial system, noting that the payments landscape is rapidly evolving with new technologies and providers. And payment systems are part of our daily lives, whether we are transferring funds, paying bills, or conducting business online, he said, while warning that these developments also introduce new risks for consumers and for financial stability. Now, this of course began since 2021. So that's why I say maybe it's not a UNC thing. It's a central bank thing. But the legislation will have to go before Parliament. But that pushing forward in terms of digital payments and the restrictions, because Trinidad and Tobago is one of those restricted countries, even in things like PayPal and stuff, in how you get payments. And, there are a lot of people who do online stuff now, and it creates, hindrances rather than enabling or facilitating a new global world in terms of how you can do jobs and stuff. So it'll be interesting to see how this pushes forward. I know the PNM used to talk about it. I know Common used to talk about it. And I know Dr. Rowley talked about the country going cashless. But, as usual, the implementation and the rapidity of the implementation has always been the PNM's issue. They talk it, and then they crawl on what they talk about.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm being a little harsh, but that's how it comes across.
Well, sometimes you have to be harsh, unfortunately. But that digital payments, I mean, it has its drawbacks here. I'm dealing with a situation that stressed my tail out yesterday concerning 3 payments that went to one institution of two different cards I have, just like that. So I had to go through I spent over an hour on the phone yesterday trying to deal with that. And it's not local, it's foreign. You understand? In Canada, to be exact. In an institution, I've never had a problem before. It's just the hell out of me. So hopefully it'll be resolved.
I have safeguards. Because I remember once I made a mistake with a bank. I was doing a bank transfer and I made a mistake with the number. Usually you pay attention, and I really was distracted. And I thought I sent it to the right account to realize I did not. And the person told me they didn't get it, and I'm saying, but I sent it. And I realized it was the wrong account. And I was like, oh my goodness, how did you do this? And I just went into the bank in person. And I said, look, this is it. It went to a wrong account. And they resolved it. I must admit it was Scotia, and Scotia resolved it pretty quickly.
But you got to go in. I can't go into this bank. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But yes, but sometimes you have those kind of digital transfers where where you did something and you're like, how do I resolve this? But it's good for the country to move forward and modernize a lot of those those payment transactions and stuff like that, and make it easier for people to transfer stuff, because there's so many places in Trinidad and Tobago that don't accept links, and I know a lot of them is because they don't want to pay the charge or the 2% or whatever it is from a links transaction. Some of them, they just don't want to do it. Or credit card transactions, they will tell you we accept links, but we don't accept credit cards. You know, you need those two.
Yes.
We not accept no credit cards because, of course, of the percentage that goes to the credit card payment. So there has to be a way that makes it easier for citizens, so that if I go, like how I went to that Mova place when I went to and I had no cash on me. I had like $12. And I went in and I might have bought a Heineken Light, but they had no links.
Right.
So I had to dig in my pocket and say, how much for your Minute Maid? And I get $1. And I had $6 again. So I went to the little parlor next door and I was like, you all accept links? No, we don't. I'd say, how much for a pack of cheese sticks?
Oh my word!
You blow your $12 there.
Yeah.
After me after that. Like if digital payment of some sort, it would have been easier, but so we have to facilitate that somehow.
Say what?
That makes it viable for businesses to want to buy into it.
Anyhow, guys, hold 1 minute here. Wendell, as you're getting ready for the poll, you could, give them the backdrop to the poll if you have one that you want to give them.
And the backdrop to the poll is
your calls at 281-1315 and 299-5156, right? You know all that right now. Go ahead.
The backdrop to the poll is what's happening. I mean, we have had this discussion so many different times concerning murders and hanging and so on. But of course, a lot of people on social media and a lot of people calling into radio programs just saying, listen, hanging. You getting the vote on it today. You know how our feeling, especially Richard, you know how he feels about it, right? You know where I stand also too, although sometimes I kind of walk the line, but should hanging be resumed in light of all the murders in Trinidad and Tobago? 1 is yes, 2 is no, all right? Should hanging be resumed? Of course, we know the complications of getting it, but we're not going there this morning, right? We asking you how you feel. If you feel that is going to help the situation in Trinidad and Tobago, yes or no. You get to vote on it this morning. You get to call on it too.
And you get to talk about it after 7 o'clock, right? But right now we can take a couple of your calls going up to 7. Caller, good morning to you.
Good morning. I want to highlight a situation that might be related, or it may not. But I just want to point it out that about potentially a situation that could have been resolved and potentially a life saved. A few days ago, a man called a radio station. I know you don't like people that compete to call radio station names.
No, that's all right.
Well, okay, fine. A caller called on 95.5 and said, I am chopped. They chopped me up and I am in the forest. I don't know where I am. And it seemed like he was pleading for assistance. And the hosts they dismissed the matter. I don't know if they felt it was a prank call. I mean, I'm not blaming the host at all for any reason. But 2 days later, a man was found chopped up in the bushes. And it's on my mind that if it wasn't the same caller that called for help and we ignored it.
Yeah.
You said, wait. Lincoln, what you're saying is he actually called the radio station?
Yes.
Oh, the story doesn't say that though. The story says he called 999.
But I heard a call on 95.5, not myself alone, of a man saying he was chopped up in the bushes and he couldn't find his way out and he needed help and nobody helped. He was appealing for help. I don't know. It is bothering me that I don't know if it's the same man that died or if it was a totally separate incident. But I am
somebody
just
should have
putting it
followed
out there. Somebody should have followed it up there and to confirm if this man had a phone on him, if they could check and see if he did call 95.5. You understand?
Yeah, I understand that. Lincoln,
that's serious. I didn't realize that's what.
Yeah, that is something else. I mean, if he, because maybe remember he said if it's the same guy. Remember he said he called the police. He may have been calling anybody he could get help with, you know. At that point in time, if the police not responding, you know, whoever he could get to respond. But that's an interesting one there, Lincoln. That is a very interesting and disturbing all at the same time, you know. Caller, good morning.
Morning, is that a breakfast show?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I was listening to your program and I was hearing where you were wondering if someone could be charged without having the body for murder.
Yeah.
Yes.
I just want to remind you in Trinidad that happened before. Boise Singh was convicted for the murder of, I think the person would have been Thelma Haynes. They never found that body, and Boise Singh and somebody else together with him was convicted.
Okay. All right. Okay. Thanks very much for the information, caller.
Don't mention it.
Yeah.
Thank you. Take care. Sounding like a senior citizen. Well, and thanks for calling, because I think that this might be the first time you called at this show too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Yeah. All right. So we are going up to the news at 7. And Wendell, our poll.
Should hanging be resumed in light of all the murders in Trinidad and Tobago? 1, you're voting yes. 2, you're voting no. All right? Or should I say yes, you're voting 1. No, you're voting 2. All right? That's our poll this morning. Lots of comments and votes already on the chat. And of course, we will give you the results when we come back and get into it a bit more as to why you would have voted, because the votes seem very mixed thus far. All right?
Great.
Yeah.
The news you need, the clarity you deserve. Local, regional, global. This is NETT Radio News Now.
This is News Now on New Era TT Radio, NETT Radio, and Dial Caribbean TV. I am Derek McMillan. Thank you for joining us. Investigators probing the disappearance of 2-year-old Angelo Tobias Plaza say the case has taken a critical turn 9 days after the toddler went missing in Tobago. Police sources say one of 7 people in custody allegedly told investigators the child was killed and his body thrown into the sea along Tobago's windward coast. The alleged confession reportedly led officers back to the child's Goodwood home as investigations intensified. Search teams have since shifted operations to sections of Tobago's coastline and nearby waters. Police say 3 women and 4 men remain in custody. The TTPS says the investigation remains active and sensitive, with several specialized units and volunteer groups involved in the search efforts. Authorities are continuing to appeal to the public for information. Investigators probing the police-involved shooting death of Joshua Samaru are expected to meet with Director of Public Prosecutions Roger Gaspard today. Senior police officials confirmed the meeting comes after the investigative file was completed and submitted to the DPP. It has been nearly 4 months since Samaru was shot and killed during a confrontation with police in St. Augustine, an incident that sparked public outrage and criticism of the TTPS. Samaru, 31, was killed on January 20th at the corner of Bassey Street Extension and Dookie Singh Street. A video that later surfaced appeared to show him with his hands outside a vehicle window moments before officers opened fire. A woman who was also injured in the incident remains unable to walk and is continuing physical therapy. Justice Minister Devesh Maharaj says prisoners will have to complete mandatory rehabilitation programs before qualifying for parole under proposed new legislation. Speaking in the Senate, Maharaj said the measure is aimed at reducing repeat offending and improving inmate rehabilitation. He said many prisoners leave jail without meaningful reform and later reoffend. Under the bill, inmates would only qualify for parole after successfully completing rehabilitation programs. But opposition Senator Faris Al-Rawi argued that judges should decide whether offenders convicted of heinous crimes, including child rape, should ever be eligible for parole. Police are investigating 2 separate incidents involving deadly violence in central Trinidad. In Las Lomas, the body of 35-year-old Adrian Peter Duff was found more than a day after he called 999, saying he had been chopped and was trapped in a cocoa field off Esperanza Trace. Police, relatives, and friends searched the area before his body was discovered Wednesday morning. In a separate incident, police shot and killed 35-year-old Abdullah Joseph during a reported home invasion in Cunupia. Officers said Joseph confronted them with a firearm after they responded to reports of a break-in at a house whose owners were overseas. Commissioner of Police Alistair Guevara defended the officers' actions, saying police would act decisively against violent criminals. However, relatives of Joseph claimed he was unarmed and said deadly force was unnecessary. In the region, Trinidad and Tobago and Venezuela will hold talks this week over the May 1st oil spill that affected Venezuela's coastline. Energy Minister Dr. Rudal Munilal said both countries have completed technical assessments and will compare findings during a virtual meeting. Venezuela has called for compensation and accused Trinidad and Tobago of not providing enough information about the spill. Munilal said the spill was small, contained in local waters, and cleaned up within 48 hours. Former Energy Minister Stuart Young criticized government's handling of the issue. Internationally, a Texas man has been arrested after allegedly driving his Tesla Cybertruck into a lake to test the vehicle's wade mode feature. Police in Grapevine, Texas said the driver intentionally drove into Grapevine Lake on Monday before the vehicle became stuck and started taking in water. The driver and passengers got out safely, but emergency crews were called to remove the partially submerged truck. The driver was arrested for operating a vehicle in a restricted area and for water safety violations. Tesla's Cybertruck wade mode is designed for shallow water crossings of up to about 32 inches, but the company warns drivers to check water depth and avoid deep or fast-moving water. Police say despite the vehicle's capabilities, driving into lakes can create serious safety and legal concerns. And that is NETT Radio News at this time.
That was news now. Stay informed with New Era TT Radio. NETT Radio.
Your mid-morning just got better. Join Sir Charles for the mid-morning mix and mingle, where good music, real talk, health, and family matters come together, and your voice is heard. Whether you're at work, on the go, or just taking a break, this is the perfect mix to keep you engaged, informed, and entertained. The mid-morning mix and mingle, weekdays, 9 a.m. to 12 noon on New Era TT Radio, NETT Radio.
Synergy. This is the NETT Radio Breakfast Show.
is making a big, big scene, trying to attack my beauty queen. Huh? But I know that none of them is able. When she whines, she terrible and mean. With a waist that move like engine and hot like pepper. 10 demons in she head, she go down on the ground with a rum balling fire. I ain't living here till broad daylight. Trouble for the man I catch here tonight. The first man I catch tonight, well, he dead, 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 dead. Especially if I have a stag in my head. Right back, throw your waist. Right back, throw your waist. Right back, throw your waist. I want to wine on something. I want to wine on something. I say, little darling, take it easy. The temptation taking hold of me, Lord. But the fire raging in she body, and the tempo have we wild and free. Tonight is the night for bacchanal. Give me room to play. Put she hands behind she head and she whine. The woman whine, I say she whine until 4 day. I ain't living here till broad daylight. Trouble for the man I catch here tonight. The first man I catch tonight, well, he's dead, 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 dead. Especially with a Guinness in my head. Yes? Right back, throw your waist. Right back, throw your waist. Right back, throw your waist. I want to wine on something. Oulé, famidou. Oulé, famidou.
Mornings just got down. You're locked into NETT Radio Breakfast Show. Fuel your day with the best music and real talk.
Yeah. Well, if you feel like whining on something, you get something to whine on as we go into the weekend. Hey, everybody, good morning to you once again, and of course, welcome. Of course, yes, this is the Breakfast Show, and of course, you're listening to New Era TT Radio, the heartbeat of the Caribbean. We take you above and beyond. Time check for you. It's now 14 minutes past the hour of 7 o'clock as we enter inside this brand new hour. Good morning to the Anthem crew. Yeah, those that came in very early across the different platforms because we are multi-platform in the morning period on the Breakfast Show. Good morning to you. Good morning to the Gael people. Nice to have you people locked up on the inside. Yeah. And of course, the Breakfast Show, Wendell Stephen, Richard Raghubar Singh, yours truly, Sir Charles. We keep company Monday to Friday from 6 a.m. And when we come off of the TV feed and, of course, the social media platforms that go to closer to 9 o'clock, well, then you can come across to netradiott.com. That's netradiott.com. And you can listen to us all day and every day. Of course, we are streaming on multiple platforms, so we are taking you global, so you can listen to us on TuneIn, Radio Garden, Simple Radio, Online Radio Box, MyTuner. Yeah, you can get us on all of those different platforms now, and all you have to do, put in the command NETT Radio Trinidad. NETT Radio Trinidad on any one of those streaming platforms, and you'll be able to listen to us, all right? Of course, you'll be able to give Alexa, Siri, and any other smart device that you have, give it that command, NETT Radio Trinidad, play NETT Radio Trinidad, and it will do it for you. And it is simple branding across all our social media platforms also. NETT Radio Trinidad, you get us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and of course TikTok. Make sure you put your stamp on all, right? So like, subscribe, follow the different channels, and especially the TikTok channel right now. Yeah, I want you to make sure you go there and follow that channel, right? Follow that TikTok channel for me. I want to add the TikTok to our streaming channels in a short. So I need you to go up there and like and follow TikTok, right? So our morning poll is here. Do you think in light of all the murders taking place in Trinidad and Tobago that it's time to resume hangings in Trinidad and Tobago? Well, if you are in favor and you say yes, you vote 1. If you say no, you're voting 2, right? It's as simple as that. And we'll tell you how you voted in a little bit. Also, don't forget, while you're on our platforms, don't forget to look for that donate button. And you can donate and support to the channel to keep us up and running. So we're going for that commercial break, and when we come back, we'll tell you how you voted, and of course we will take your calls on the polls so you can tell us why you voted the way that you did. We will be back in a short.
Cipriani College, we are back. The box office smash Scandal in Citrus is back. We are back because you demanded it for 3 nights only. Friday the 29th and Saturday the 30th of May at 8:30 p.m. and Sunday the 31st at 6:30 p.m. Tickets available now at usual outlets and online. Scandal in Citrus, we are back at Cipriani College. See it again or see it for the first time. Don't miss it.
Scandal in Citrus.
St. Teresa Preschool presents their fundraising boat ride, Dancing Under the Moonlight, on Saturday, the 23rd of May, 2026. It's a collaboration of colors on board the Island Royalty. Bring your own coolers. Boarding time, 11 p.m. Sailing, 12 midnight. Music by DJ Chaotic from Sweet 100 FM. Kryptonite Sounds with Mr. Flavor of NETT Radio TT. Dress code, elegantly casual. Gorgeous ladies wear blue. Handsome gentlemen wear pink. Admission, early bird tickets $200. Regular $250. No oversized cooler. For more information, call 375-6527-719-3379. Dancing Under the Moonlight aboard the Island Royalty.
Are you taking care of your sexual health and overall well-being? At Total Image and Dr. Raj Adult Boutique, we believe your confidence, wellness, and intimacy matter. Visit us at our convenient locations: 10 Carmody Street, St. Augustine, Edinburgh, Chaguanas, Shops of Daybay, 95 Circular Road, Vistabella, Docks Ranch Light Pole 51, SS Aaron Road, Penal, and Metro Hotel, Suite 1, Number 2 Knoll Street North, Couva. From relaxing massage services to professional guidance on sexual wellness, we are here to support you every step of the way. Consult with renowned sexologist, Dr. Raj Ramnanan, for expert advice tailored to your needs. Take the first step toward a healthier, more confident you. Call 285-9739 or 645-4543 to book your appointment today. Total Image and Dr. Raj Adult Boutique, where wellness meets confidence.
It's the Grand Clearance Sale at Fats International Styles. Everything must go. All clothing, only $100. Sneakers, just $200. Yes, you heard right. Massive deals, unbeatable prices while stocks last. Visit Fats International Styles Arima opposite Castro's restaurant. Don't miss your chance to grab the hottest styles at crazy clearance prices. Hurry in today because once it's gone, it's gone.
Too fat
Fellas celebrates its final performance in San Fernando, Naparima Bowl.
One night, one show, Saturday, May 30th, night of the holiday.
2 Fat Fella stars, Cecilia, Kenny, Kevon, Zachary, Rachel, and Rody.
The ridiculously funny comedy is at Naparima Bowl for one final night.
Tickets available at Dormont Shoe Store, Long Circular Mall, Anthony's Floral Val Park, K-Square Stores, Eastgate Mall, Brentwood Plaza, C3 Center, Athletes by the Park, Southern Food Basket, Coffee Street, and Point Fortin. Naparima Bowl box office opens on Thursday the 28th of May. Also online at islandtickets.com. For more info, text or call 683-0356 or 683-4843.
Check out our early bird special online at Island E-Tickets. 2 Fat Fellas.
S&H Rumbox, 137 Western Main Road, St. James, for all your retail and wholesale needs for alcohol and non-alcoholic beverages. Call us at 686-0599 or visit us at 137 Western Main Road, St. James. S&H Rumbox, drinking out of the box.
Join me, Brother David Muhammad, every Tuesday from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. here on New Era TT Radio, Net Radio, Powerful Radio. Join me to hear knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Tuesdays, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. here on New Era TT Radio, Net Radio.
Advertise with us on New Era TT Radio, the fastest growing streaming platform for talk in Trinidad and Tobago. Audio and video ads welcome. Elevate your brand with us. Connect with us at newerattradio@yahoo.com or call us at 299-5156. Now what are you waiting for?
So we are back inside of the second hour of the breakfast show here on Net Radio, and we are happy to be here with you guys. So remember, you continue to vote on the poll, and we'll give you the poll results in a little bit. You know, Mandela, how are you? You good?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. You see my African thing over my shoulder.
Yeah, well, it now adjusted a little bit. It was kind of high up before.
Yeah.
You know, so it's good. You know, you have to be like those ladies when they go to their makeup room and you adjust this and you adjust that. You have to adjust it.
It's just that sometimes it gets cold where I am, and I decide. I say, hey, I have this African piece. It's very comfortable. It's soft.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna start using it, and I just decided to use. I used to use it when I used to do the program downstairs in the living room, but so I had it down there all the time, and I just I'm gonna just bring it up and start using it.
Nice. Utilize everything, man.
Yeah. How does it look? I don't know how it looking. I can't tell how it looking.
Sorry, man. When you go back to the replay, you'll know.
Yeah, which I do from time to time, eh?
Yeah. But we see where it goes. People, just to let you know that tomorrow, he wasn't able to join us last week. At least he joined us kind of late, you know. Dr. Randall is tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah, because he did come in after 8 o'clock last week, you know, and I didn't even notice him.
Oh, God, Sir Charles.
No, because because you see at a certain time when I know the guest is coming in at a certain time, so after we do news and then we go back into the phone lines and that's I'm not checking. I didn't check in.
Yeah.
I expected nobody to come in at that point in time, you know.
I can understand that. Understand that. So Raj had to take advantage of the fact when we have all the links on live, which is YouTube, Facebook,
Yes.
Gael, we don't want you to miss out on that.
So
at least we don't want the people to miss out on your advice during those times. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, the people, he talks on a lot of things, so don't feel only one thing that Dr. Raj talks on, right? Right.
I do.
Yeah, and I'm sure when we talk with him tomorrow, we'll find out, all the other things that he is into, because he's into quite a bit of things.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll look out for that tomorrow, right? And of course, after 8 o'clock, we will link up with I had one, and now I have two persons I'm going to try and hook up with after 8 o'clock to get their experiences as to how it was with the cataract surgery, the highs and lows and all those different things. So we're able to talk with the one or two persons, and hopefully maybe tomorrow, before the doctor goes back, we'll be able to get that conversation. When we'll try continuously over the next couple of days.
Yeah, with the doctor. Yeah, I'm going to keep trying him. Yeah.
All right. So poll time. Mm-hmm.
All right. Should hanging be resumed in light of all the murders in Trinidad and Tobago? You would have voted 1 for yes and 2 for no. Let's see the results, Charles.
All right. I'm get back to here. Okay.
Take your time. Lots of chat on it. 88% of you said yes, that hanging should be resumed, and 12% of you said no. All right. So a lot of comments on the chat concerning it, and Dean Allen is saying that in our murder rate, the national murder rate actually escalated by 30% the very next year. I guess that's after we did our first set of our hangings back then.
Yeah.
Or is he speaking to somewhere else? I think it's Canada he's speaking to. For example, when Canada abolished the death penalty in 1976, its homicide rate steadily declined. Carlisle Cupid has said there has been a consistent decline in the number of executions for murder globally, except for in some Asian jurisdictions. I don't know the reason, but that's just the data. Lester Cragwell is saying the death penalty is a sentence for a crime. It should not be viewed as a deterrent. Who else? Jason Samuel is saying the confession by one of the suspects, was it given voluntarily, is what has to be proven in court if the suspect retracts his or her confession at trial. So
Yeah.
lots of
That's a very serious part of the whole thing,
Yeah. And someone who's clearly a new chatter, because I've never recognized this name before, BP Trinbago, says the reality is that the death penalty is still on the books. The problem of enforcement lies with the low detection rates, poor prosecution, and delays in our judiciary. Don't blame the Privy Council. All right, those are just some of the people who have been chatting on the issue. All right.
So people, you can call us now if you'd like to share your views on the morning poll. You can tell us why you would have voted yes or no. Even if you did not vote but you have a view on it, you can call us now to 281-1315 or 299-5156. We just for a few minutes, but we're dealing specifically with the poll.
All
right. So you can call. So if you have a view on what has been taking place with the poll, you can call us to share your thoughts on that. Okay, so we have someone coming in here. Mr. Rima, good morning.
Hi, good morning. Good morning.
Mr. Rima, you're still dialing?
No, Ali. I'm talking to you, but
I was hearing the dialing in the background still, Yeah, but go ahead. So, what do you have a view on the morning poll?
Pardon?
Do you have what are your views on the morning poll? Because that is what we're taking calls for right now, eh?
Oh, all right. Well, I'll stay clear from that because right now I'm so mad right now.
Well, they will call me back. You'll call me back, right? You'll call me back and you'll tell me what you're mad about. Right now, we're trying to streamline the thing so we can talk, get people's views on the poll. All right. Good morning.
Good morning. I am one of them that voted no. And my reason for voting no is simply because I find, specific to your question, I find we should move away from hanging, and not that I have a problem with the death penalty or putting people to sleep, but we should move away from the hanging and look to a more humane way of unaliving people. I would suggest lethal injection or something more humane than breaking people's neck. You know, so I don't have a problem with the hang, with the lethal, with the death penalty. It's just that the way they want to go about it still in 2026. I think we should move away from that.
Okay. I understand.
That's so interesting. You would say a more humane way of killing another individual. that just don't reconcile at all.
yeah. But I understand what he's talking about.
Sorry for laughing, but how do you find a more humane way to kill somebody? Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. Hello, good morning to you, caller.
Good morning.
Morning, Dabadi.
Oh, and good morning.
Morning.
I did not vote because I'm not going to vote yes or no. All I am in agreement with, but there's nothing that has changed over the years since 1990 something that could say that we're going to resume hanging. Once the judiciary not working and the detection rate is not there, we can't hang nobody. So it's on the books, yes, but having it on the books doesn't make it going to happen. So it's either yes or no for me, or I will write it, but the laws have to change. The laws meaning that the trials have to be more speedily and the detection rate as well. But as it is now, after 5 years, because just recently a guy was sentenced to death, right? Somebody from the Deep South, right? 2 weeks ago, in 2026. You want to believe if 5 years come from now, 2031, and they say, okay, ready for hanging, he gonna start to appeal, eh?
Well, he appealed already.
Yeah.
An appeal was submitted already, if I'm not mistaken.
Right, so that's going to take the next 4 years. So that's out of the question for me. But change the judiciary supposed to speed up the trials, and the detection rate by the police supposed to be quicker. Thanks.
Okay, no problem.
And yeah, I hear in that, but people don't conflate the different issues, right? We're talking about hanging. I mean, so forget the detection rate, forget the appeals, forget everything else that could delay whatever is inevitable. We're talking about, do you support hanging? Full stop.
Yeah. Caller, good morning.
Brother Center, Virginia, good morning.
Morning, Virginia.
I voted yes. So on behalf, and my reason for it, on behalf of the 80-something% who voted in the same manner, in the typical response of a valley girl from California, duh. All right, have a good day, gentlemen. Bye.
All right. Oh dear.
But you just have me.
Yeah, well, at least you're honest.
All right, okay. But I do for your calls on the poll, right? So we're looking at the time and everything, you know. It's there on our box. I think I will go with the yes, saying yes. If it's there, we have to carry it out. But the thing about it is that it's not to say that we don't have anybody on that row. We have people on that row. We just can't, for some reason, we just can't hang it. We can't carry out the whatever is supposed to be done.
Yeah, Richard actually changed my mind from that death penalty issue, because really and truly it's pointless. It's equivalent to for people saying yeah, but he did a home invasion. He might have intended to kill the people, so it's good that the police kill him. How in God's name could people take that view? I don't know. And when it comes around to you, you have a problem with it. But okay for other people. No. Sorry, not when I see. I changed my way of thinking a long time ago, especially after what I personally have been through. I can't see another person punished. I'm sorry.
I kind of different from you that is concerned, because at the end of the day, if you knew what you were doing and you still decided to go that particular direction, because sometimes a lot of these people know exactly what they are doing. Even if it comes down to family, trust me, if that is what the law say, and you decided you want to go that direction, I say, man, I not going down that road. Say no.
Well, it's not hard to take that view, Sir Charles. It's not hard to take a view that, hey, if that's the life you want to live, wherever you get your take, It's not hard to take that view. As a matter of fact, I think majority of people will in fact take that view. You choose that life, whatever circumstances, but we're talking about in a circumstance where people could be saved, where people could be arrested and they're shot and killed. I can't support that. You understand? If you've gone down that road and police have an opportunity to arrest you and whatnot, then that's the way I would go. You understand?
Yeah. Well, I support that. If somebody is doing a crime, the police is not the one to determine if you live or die at that point in time.
Exactly.
So I don't support that. But if you are held for a crime and you go through the process and you are found guilty of the crime, I have no problem with the state carrying out whatever laws is there, whatever penalty there is for those things. You gotta carry it out.
Yeah.
And that's just my view on the whole thing. I know people have taken quite a different view over time with some of these things, but but I know there are hindrances states here, and that is why it's taken so long. We have the whole Pratt and Morgan situation that I don't know. Somebody put something and it becomes precedent for the rest of our lives, and we don't seem to be able to change back that precedent. We have to follow that. I don't know how we following that forever and ever. I don't know how that becomes the gold standard for everybody else for the rest of our lives, because Pratt and Morgan make a decision at that point in time. You understand? Somebody knows.
Because we subscribe to the Privy Council, we have no choice.
So those are the candidates. But because we have people who are on that road, and so it's not to say that that road empty, we have people on that road, so we are not carrying it out. Will that be a deterrent for other people committing crimes? I'm not too sure about.
But it's clearly not.
Yeah,
it's clearly not.
So even in places where they probably may be carrying out death penalties very frequently, I don't know if it is making a difference to people still committing crime, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
All right, so now that was our poll. I just wanted to take you back to something that we were talking about earlier on, Wendell, which is when we were looking at the social development, if you want to call it that, as to how China was treating with it. By having these persons assigned to families to help them to move out of the poverty level. We don't seem to have that, because from people who are seeking public assistance in Trinidad and Tobago, I don't get the feeling that there's anybody trying to walk them out of it, trying to assist them to do things to that they can probably help yourself eventually, because let's face it, the public assistance that people get here, it's minimal. It could barely take care of you. I know someone who has a child that they're taking care of, and I think it's like about $1,300 a month, right? But the child is growing, the child had to go to school, the child need this and need that and all different kinds of things. But if that person now, with that $1,300 they get in, decides, well, you know what, let me sell some newspaper in front of me to help that situation, because I can't make it on that $1,300. And if they find you doing that, they're gonna take away that $1,300 from you. which I find kind of wickedness, because it's not even to say, well, here one, you are doing a particular kind of business, so yes, you could afford to come out. They know some of those things that people are doing are very minimal money they're making from it also, to help them through these situations, difficult times, and they will take away the grants from them. I hope that whole social development grant situation will eventually, we have a revamping of it and look into it. I don't know who's in charge of social development right now, but I hope that they would look at
in terms of the minister.
Yeah,
is Vandana Mohit.
Okay, well, I hope they will review that and look at it again, and and try and put things in place that that ministry could really work along with people to help these people who are on these grants and trying to seek assistance and stuff, Yeah.
As I said, I found out yesterday who is the person who created the mischief surrounding me. I found out who it is.
Somebody created mischief?
The mischief making that I'm Khadijah's advisor and things.
Oh, okay.
That mischief. I found out who it is.
Disgruntled PNM.
Huh?
Disgruntled PNM.
No, actually, no, I know. If I tell you it is, you'll probably not be shocked. If
it's not that disgruntled PNM, it's a Vex UNC then.
Well, it's a Vex UNC. The person might have been a disgruntled PNM before, but it's a Vex UNC. And I saying, but they're serious. And I understand Khadijah had to put them in the place, but
oh Lord, yeah.
I say what? I mean, people really have nothing to do sometimes. Yes.
I see in the news also that is Victor Philip is a guy, the elder man?
Victor Roberts.
Victor Roberts. Why am I saying
Philip? Is Bishop Philip. Don't tie up the
two. Bishop, sorry about that. Yes, sorry about that. Yeah, so I see that he's saying that he's not leaving the UNC.
Yes.
So he's still a UNC member.
He's not stupid at all.
But he's working with the PNM now.
He's not stupid. But he said that in 2024, while still a member of the UNC, that he had approached Mrs. Prasad Bisesa about certain issues and about all these people who were facing charges and issues, and that she should get rid of them. And I'm quoting the story that I read.
Yes.
I'm quoting the story. He said Mrs. Prasad Bisesa response to him was, what to do, get rid of them and replace them with people like you? That's what I read.
What?
That's what I read that Victor Roberts said, that's the response he got from Mrs. Prasad Bisesa. Get rid of them and replace them with people like you.
What does that statement mean? Like what?
Well, exactly. So he asked her, he said, well, that is a racist statement. And he said that was it. She never, she cut the conversation and that was the end of it.
She probably must have meant those other individuals are more loyal than you are.
Well, this was in 2024. He said.
Yeah. Because clearly he has gone against. So I don't know. I mean, I'm just listening to the statement he's making, and I'm saying that, okay, well, does that really make sense? How can you still want to be and stay within the UNC, but you are now on the PNM side? So can the PNM trust him?
Well, that's what Do Not Meru is saying. Don't trust them. I mean, listen, politics over the years, Sir Charles, I get to realize anything goes. Anything goes.
Because
I don't even bother.
He's here with us now, but could he be trusted to help us then? Or, I don't know what to make of that situation. I find that an incredible situation, but
yeah. There have been those who've gone back and forth. So anything goes now in politics. Anything goes.
Wow.
Anything goes.
All right. Well, people, let's go back to the last year. We can take some of your calls as we go.
Your generic calls. Mr. Rima, you can call now.
Yeah. Mr. Rima, you can call us back now. So you can share, your concerns and your other situations, right? So good morning.
Morning, Sir Charles.
Nice, Mr. Rima.
And Richard. Now, one thing I could say, the former Prime Minister and the government, right? They were doing so much of wickedness in this country, but I have to thank him. You know why I have to thank him? Because he said, he's telling these young people and the young ladies, know what all they have on their bed, know what's coming inside on their bedroom. And that thing, I have to give him kudos for that. Because you see what went on with this young child. When I saw the interview, and I saw when I don't want to call his name, when he was talking to the young man, right? And after a while, you saw that young man just went at the side of the house. And I said to myself, I said, look, the culprit there. Look, the culprit there. I sat down in my house and I said that. And look what went on there. Now I am calling on the government, the Prime Minister, all you bring back the hangman. Because plenty of our young people, our children are suffering today. Plenty crime in this country, right? All the young little children, all the young men are dying out, right? We wouldn't have no young men in this country for the next generation to come. I am calling on the government. I'm so emotional right now.
Yes,
when I heard about this little 2-year-old child. Oh God, man. All you have to do something. The government has to do something about that. I mean, the police can be there all the time and all about. But oh God, it's so much in this country. All you have to bring back, the hangman and bring all of them to justice. Because we need justice for this 2-year-old. Not only for this 2-year-old, you know,
all the others, yeah.
Plenty children, we need justice for them. So all you do something about it, Prime Minister, my honorable Prime Minister. I am calling upon you and your government. Bring back the hangman. Bring it back.
All right,
because people are fed up.
Okay, no problem. Thank you very much. You know, so Rima was very passionate about these situations. You know, but at the end of it all, you really and truly, and you have to be aware of, that people that you are with, and people may take that as a very simple statement, but that's a very true situation. You must take time to know the people and try your best to know the people around you. Mm-hmm.
We have had so much street justice in this place that it's a lot of people aren't aware. You have a lot of people taking things into their own hand. A lot of sometimes unexplained killings is as a result of some kind of street justice.
Yeah. A lot. Caller, good morning.
Oh God, good morning, Sir Charles and Wendell.
Morning.
You don't put me in the same class with that man. I am real right, Bishop Victor.
Sorry about that, Bishop.
That man is a different kind of human being. You're talking at a discussion with the Prime Minister. You're privileged to have a discussion with the Prime Minister. And you bring over a point, as you said, boy, how about put people like you? Because you have a nasty attitude and your behavior is not good. So here want more people like you. How you go get a racist comment and jump out in the ring and start to talk about the Prime Minister bad and the UNC bad and things that you've done to see and one stick we have to skin, get out of politics. If you want to skin like that, get out of politics, then you guys have a call. The problem with poverty is that the government cannot deal with poverty. We who have been dealing with poverty out of our pockets over the years cannot do it anymore because the funding is not coming in for us to do it. We in the church, if nobody could have been doing more charity than the Baptist community. We've been doing charity from day one. Charity is our business. But we get no help from the state to do it. None whatsoever. Every other religious organization is funded with subvention from the state to handle charity. We, the Baptist community, don't get a penny. If you want to help a family, it has to be from your pocket. But unfortunately for me, Inspires Construction and Manufacturing Limited, we formed the NGO, Mission of Faith Management Organization, and we handle the charitable families all through that period of time. Because the company making money, we had to ask nobody for nothing. We ain't begging for nothing. We can take money from the company and write it off in taxes. That is not happening now. So we have no money to help the poor.
Right.
And nobody has seen it fit to help Mission of Faith. Because the Jack Warner used to give us $40,000 a year. Jack Warner used to give us $40,000 a year to help us with charity and help us with the poor. We don't get nothing from the government. So government try to help poor. When they can't help poor, when they go get a food card, that's all poor people want. They also need counseling. A husband and wife working and they have problems because they're not sitting together and planning together as a family. So we are saying to them now, look, you all need the IRO not working. The IRO is not a bacchanal organization of ministers, priests and pundits and imams. Government needs to look at the IRO and we organize now under the Prime Minister's office or under the Ministry of Social Services a team of non-governmental organizations that have been doing charity and dealing with developing people, counseling people. And if they can't do that, then they will continue to have the problem of having not being able to look after the poor. They can't reach the poor because the poor don't go to them, they come to us. Right? That's my point.
Okay,
That's
no
my
problem.
point.
Thanks very much, Bishop, for your input this morning.
It might be accurate to say that the government do help the Baptist community. I think because there are so many disparate groups in the Baptist community.
Probably.
They can't help all. But
the division.
I'm sure they do help.
Yeah.
All governments. You know?
Caller, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Charles.
Morning,
Good
Zina.
morning, Wendell, and all those who are locked on.
Morning, Zina.
Listen, Sir Charles. I think I have a little issue with Miss Arima with what she said when she started her conversation. Miss Arima, don't go there. You know, when you say about the Prime Minister, the former Prime Minister and the government, there's so much wickedness. So, Charles, you should have stopped her there. What wickedness the former Prime Minister did?
I missed that.
If she comparing the former one and the present one, where the wickedness should really fall, we kind of, all the people she sent home and all the prices and everything that gone up. Anyhow, that I didn't like that. So don't go there, Miss Arima. Right. Hear what? Sir Charles, you spoke earlier, you all were talking about the social services. They need people who with more compassion in those areas. I'm not saying that everybody coming home give away the government money, but they take too long and they're too fussy and they go by the black and white of the regulations. There are people who are really in need and they don't really help you. They behave sometimes as if the money is coming out of their pockets. It belongs to the government.
Well, Zina, there's such a preoccupation on the state trying to stop people who they think trying to defraud the system. It's weighted so heavily in that direction that it ends up doing more damage than good.
Well, I think so too. Yes. So there are the people. There's too much. I hear people crying out for that. Even people who need a pension, people who have never worked and put in for the grant, It's a lot of run around and a lot of headache. You know who genuinely should be getting a grant. And as Sir Charles said, if you get any little end to do anywhere with anything, they stop your pension or take away the food card. You know, and then money is, and again I keep saying, money is being spent and wasted on so many things that shouldn't be. So that the average poor person, always on the losing end. That is why went on. You see what went on by the eye clinic there. You understand? And I want to tell Sir Charles, I told him before, but I didn't hear him mention it. When the man called and said about the case with Boise Singh without the body, it was he couldn't remember the other person. It was Boise Singh and Bolan Ramkisoon and Boise Singh for the murder of Thelma Haynes. She was a Ghanese dancer, and Dr. Bolan was a doctor, I think, and his other partner in crime. So people could always go back and research that story, because that I was very small at the time, very, very small. I know Richard go ready to say I belong to the gang, Syria gang, but I heard my mother.
No, I'm in a very peaceful mood today, Zina. I have no problems with the world.
And then yesterday, I didn't hear you good until I replayed that thing. I didn't hear you asking me the question. Yes, I want water to water my garden.
I know you want to come back with that thing.
You to look good. Right?
Oh, my.
Right, see that? You get any? You get?
Yes.
Oh, Lord.
Okay, good.
Do not answer when
but they're playing it full with it. Locking it off every minute and putting it on.
Look, Zina, Raj coming tomorrow.
What's again this morning?
Zina, Raj coming tomorrow. All right? Okay. Thank you very much.
But my apologies, I missed the comment of Miss Arima, because there are some people I zone out of. I'm here looking on, but I'm not listening, and that may have happened
in between so many other things too, and that
may have happened in that case. No,
because it's
and I heard you all talking about the death penalty thing, and of course, for avoidance of doubt, I am an abolitionist, and I have presented papers before when they have had inquiry for papers on the death penalty. I have submitted why I think it should be abolished, and it has no place in any civilized country's laws. And ultimately, because I don't believe the state should have the power to execute any of its citizens, because that has gone awry many times in human history. And of course, even in Trinidad and Tobago, there have been circumstances where I remember one of the drivers in one of those murders, I think it was in the Dochedi case actually, where one of the drivers who wasn't really very mentally competent, they just tell him, come and drive the car. And he didn't know anything about what was taking place. And he was executed. And I remember the court had told the registrar to hold up on the execution because the matter was being argued before the Privy Council. And the state was so vengeful, which a state should not be, that they executed it in spite of that court order. And
that was the guy who got hung after the Dolce gang,
Yes.
Yes.
And it became an issue, and the court went back to court and said, well, they breached the order. And the court said, well, it's now moot because the man has been executed.
Yes.
And because a justice system is ultimately flawed because it's run by human beings, and there are going to be prejudices, there are going to be all sorts of issues of access to justice and people and how they approach the justice system. It just is fundamentally so flawed in so many ways. And that was a perfect example that it should really have no place on any civilized country's books. But of course, people get very emotional and passionate about it. Even religious people who are vowed to be Christians, because Jesus Christ was obviously an abolitionist, he's the one who would stand up and say, let he without sin cast the first stone. But yet Christians are among the most bloodthirsty, and I shouldn't even say Christians, I should say religious people, are among the most who advocate loudly. I shouldn't say bloodthirsty either. I should say who advocate loudly for the retention of the death penalty, which is kind of at odds with religious principles a lot of the times. But that's another argument. But in terms of a contextual thing in the Americas in which we belong, the only countries that really have performed executions, I think, within the last decade are the United States, and I think maybe the Dominican Republic and Haiti. And in terms of on a legislative perspective, most countries in the Americas, except for the English-speaking Caribbean, and of course the Dominican Republic and Haiti and maybe Cuba, and I'm not so sure about Cuba, but most countries in the Americas have abolished the death penalty, except for the United States. It's an outlier, and the English-speaking Caribbean. In fact, even countries which you may consider violent, like Mexico abolished the death penalty in 2005. And so, and because these countries have had a history, of course, of citizens being executed by the state, a lot of Southern American countries would have come through military dictatorships. So most of them don't have the death penalty on their books. And there is a United Nations move to have the death penalty abolished in all countries on planet Earth. And so that's why part of the reasons, of course, why I think the death penalty has no place. I remember when they were doing an interview audit years ago on television and in news, and one man sitting at the side of the road, an old Rasta man, and they asked him about the death penalty, and his answer was so succinct. The people who bring the death penalty here, stop it. Why we still have it?
Interesting, Richard. Yeah. Hello, good morning.
Hey, good morning. This is another one of those calls that you probably should be recorded because I'm about to commend the police service. I want to say well done to the TTPS on acquiring this admission of guilt on the part of the person who allegedly killed this young boy. Once it was not coerced, because we know that is a possibility in policing as well too. I'm not saying Trinidad police, but I've seen it happen several times on international policing. Once the confession wasn't coerced, I would like to say well done on the part of the TTPS for getting this confession from the thing. Maybe you could help me because you had read the news and following this situation with the man who was shot. I like to follow timelines. Remind me again, when did the man call the police? When did he call the police?
It says, the story says 36 hours he spent in the forest, in wherever he was, before he got here.
Right. So, in the same breath that I want to recommend the police, I want to criticize them as well too. Because I have seen where somebody's son's cell phone went missing. And it's the only time I know in Trinidad and Tobago we could track phone. We had drone, we have all kind of amenities in Trinidad and Tobago at the disposal of the TTPS. Right?
But you know, Lincoln, but Lincoln, in that case, we are not sure how long the police took, you know. And as an adjunct to all of that, there are now apps with GPS locators that are more precise than Google Maps in terms of locating people, especially in forested areas and like hikers and stuff that are lost. And I think it should be incumbent upon the state that, the state should indicate to people in terms of signage, if you are hiking, or in terms of PR, if you're hiking or you're going into forested areas, please download this app on your phone, because it's a way that the emergency services can help locate you in case you need to be located. So everybody's on the same page. Everybody's on the same page.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. This situation doesn't seem to be any hike. It seemed like he was chopped and dropped there, or he lived there and he was chopped there, or I don't know the circumstances. But what you're saying there is very relevant, Richard, because I often have these keys when hikers go missing, because I'm saying nobody have a GPS locator, nobody have a cell phone that they can find them wherever they are. So I totally agree with what you're saying there.
Okay, no problem. Thanks very much, Lincoln.
Wherever they are. So I totally
we gotta go for the news. When we come back, we will have some testimonies of people who went to the cataract surgery. The cataract thing. We have some, right?
Interesting times ahead. So don't go anywhere, people. Stay with us.
The news you need, the clarity you deserve. Local, regional, global. This is NETT Radio News Now.
This is News Now on New Era TT Radio, NETT Radio, and Dial Caribbean TV. I am Derek McMillan. Thank you for joining us. Investigators probing the disappearance of 2-year-old Angelo Tobias Plaza say the case has taken a critical turn 9 days after the toddler went missing in Tobago. Police sources say one of 7 people in custody allegedly told investigators the child was killed and his body thrown into the sea along Tobago's windward coast. The alleged confession reportedly led officers back to the child's Goodwood home as investigations intensified. Search teams have since shifted operations to sections of Tobago's coastline and nearby waters. Police say 3 women and 4 men remain in custody. The TTPS says the investigation remains active and sensitive, with several specialized units and volunteer groups involved in the search efforts. Authorities are continuing to appeal to the public for information. Investigators probing the police-involved shooting death of Joshua Samaru are expected to meet with Director of Public Prosecutions Roger Gaspard today. Senior police officials confirmed the meeting comes after the investigative file was completed and submitted to the DPP. It has been nearly 4 months since Samaru was shot and killed during a confrontation with police in St. Augustine, an incident that sparked public outrage and criticism of the TTPS. Samaru, 31, was killed on January 20th at the corner of Bassie Street Extension and Dukey Singh Street. A video that later surfaced appeared to show him with his hands outside a vehicle window, moments before officers opened fire. A woman who was also injured in the incident remains unable to walk and is continuing physical therapy. Justice Minister Devesh Maharaj says prisoners will have to complete mandatory rehabilitation programs before qualifying for parole under proposed new legislation. Speaking in the Senate, Maharaj said the measure is aimed at reducing repeat offending and improving inmate rehabilitation. He said many prisoners leave jail without meaningful reform and later reoffend. Under the bill, inmates would only qualify for parole after successfully completing rehabilitation programs. But opposition Senator Faris Al-Rawi argued that judges should decide whether offenders convicted of heinous crimes, including child rape, should ever be eligible for parole. Police are investigating 2 separate incidents involving deadly violence in central Trinidad. In Las Lomas, the body of 35-year-old Adrian Peter Duff was found more than a day after he called 999, saying he had been chopped and was trapped in a cocoa field off Esperanza Trace. Police, relatives, and friends searched the area before his body was discovered Wednesday morning. In a separate incident, police shot and killed 35-year-old Abdullah Joseph during a reported home invasion in Cunupia. Officers said Joseph confronted them with a firearm after they responded to reports of a break-in at a house whose owners were overseas. Commissioner of Police Alistair Guevara defended the officers' actions, saying police would act decisively against violent criminals. However, relatives of Joseph claimed he was unarmed and said deadly force was unnecessary. In the region, Trinidad and Tobago and Venezuela will hold talks this week over the May 1st oil spill that affected Venezuela's coastline. Energy Minister Dr. Rudal Munilal said both countries have completed technical assessments and will compare findings during a virtual meeting. Venezuela has called for compensation and accused Trinidad and Tobago of not providing enough information about the spill. Moonilal said the spill was small, contained in local waters, and cleaned up within 48 hours. Former Energy Minister Stuart Young criticized government's handling of the issue. Internationally, a Texas man has been arrested after allegedly driving his Tesla Cybertruck into a lake to test the vehicle's wade mode feature. Police in Grapevine, Texas said the driver intentionally drove into Grapevine Lake on Monday before the vehicle became stuck and started taking in water. The driver and passengers got out safely, but emergency crews were called to remove the partially submerged truck. The driver was arrested for operating a vehicle in a restricted area and for water safety violations. Tesla's Cybertruck wade mode is designed for shallow water crossings of up to about 32 inches, but the company warns drivers to check water depth and avoid deep or fast-moving water. Police say despite the vehicle's capabilities, driving into lakes can create serious safety and legal concerns. And that is NETT Radio News at this time.
That was news now. Stay informed with New Era TT Radio. NETT Radio.
Scandal in Cipriani College! We are back! The box office smash Scandal in Citrus is back! We are back because you demanded it for 3 nights only. Friday the 29th and Saturday the 30th of May at 8:30 p.m. and Sunday the 31st at 6:30 p.m. Tickets available now at usual outlets and online. Scandal in Citrus, we are back at Cipriani College. See it again or see it for the first time. Don't miss it!
Scandal in Citrus.
St. Teresa Preschool presents their fundraising boat ride, Dancing Under the Moonlight, on Saturday, the 23rd of May, 2026. It's a collaboration of colors on board the Island Royalty. Bring your own coolers. Boarding time, 11 p.m. Sailing, 12 midnight. Music by DJ Chaotic from Sweet 100 FM. Kryptonite Sounds with Mr. Flavor of NETT Radio TT. Dress code, elegantly casual. Gorgeous ladies wear blue. Handsome gentlemen wear pink. Admission, early bird tickets $200. Regular $250. No oversized cooler. For more information, call 375-6527-719-3379. Dancing Under the Moonlight aboard the Island Royalty.
Are you taking care of your sexual health and overall well-being? At Total Image and Dr. Raj Adult Boutique, we believe your confidence, wellness, and intimacy matter. Visit us at our convenient locations: 10 Carmody Street, St. Augustine, Edinburgh, Chaguanas, Shops of Daybay, 95 Circular Road, Vistabella, Docks Ranch Light Pole 51, SS Aaron Road, Penal, and Metro Hotel, Suite 1, Number 2 Knoll Street North, Couva. From relaxing massage services to professional guidance on sexual wellness, we are here to support you every step of the way. Consult with renowned sexologist Dr. Raj Ramnanan for expert advice tailored to your needs. Take the first step toward a healthier, more confident you. Call 285-9739 or 645-4543 to book your appointment today. Total Image and Dr. Raj Adult Boutique, where wellness meets confidence.
It's the Grand Clearance Sale at Fats International Styles. Everything must go. All clothing, only $100. Sneakers, just $200. Yes, you heard right. Massive deals, unbeatable prices while stocks last. Visit Fats International Styles Arima opposite Castro's restaurant. Don't miss your chance to grab the hottest styles at crazy clearance prices. Hurry in today because once it's gone, it's gone.
Two Fat Fellas celebrates its final performance in San Fernando, Naparima Bowl.
One night, one show, Saturday, May 30th, night of the holiday.
Two Fat Fellas stars, Cecilia, Penny, Kevon, Zachary, Rachel, and Rody.
The ridiculously funny comedy is at Naparima Bowl for one final night.
Tickets available at Dormont Shoe Store, Long Circular Mall, Anthony's Floral Val Park, K-Square Stores, Eastgate Mall, Brentwood Plaza, C3 Center, Athletes by the Park, Southern Food Basket, Coffee Street, and Point Fortin. Naparima Bowl box office opens on Thursday, the 28th of May. Also online at islandtickets.com. For more info, text or call 683-0356 or 683-4843.
Check out our early bird special online at Island E-Tickets. Two fat fellas.
S&H Rumbox, 137 Western Main Road, St. James, for all your retail and wholesale needs for alcohol and non-alcoholic beverages. Call us at 686-0599 or visit us at 137 Western Main Road, St. James. S&H Rumbox, drinking out of the box.
Join me, Brother David Muhammad, every Tuesday from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. here on New Era TT Radio, Net Radio, Powerful Radio. Join me to hear knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Tuesdays, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. here on New Era TT Radio, Net Radio.
Advertise with us on New Era TT Radio, the fastest growing streaming platform for talk in Trinidad and Tobago. Audio and video ads welcome. Elevate your brand with us. Connect with us at newerattradio@yahoo.com or call us at 299-5156. Now what are you waiting for?
Okay, so we are back inside the final session here on NETT Radio. It's good to be back here with you on the breakfast show. It's kind of winding things down right about now. But we're happy that you joined us and you stayed with us all throughout the morning. And we want to encourage you to stay with us throughout the day. Remember, when we come off of the feeds, you just have to switch across to netradio.tt.com. That's NETTRADIOTT.com. And that way you'll be able to listen to us all throughout the day and hear what's taking place. All right. Wendell, are you there with me?
Yeah, I'm here.
You're just off air, camera.
Off camera. No, I'm back on camera now.
All right. No problem. Well, we did promise you guys that we will talk to a couple of people who would have gone to the Seventh-day Adventist Hospital in Cochlear and hear what their experiences were like, going through this cataract surgery over the last couple of days. And I have one of those persons online already, so let's welcome her inside. Good morning to you, ma'am. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you.
All right. Well, I will just call you G for now, right? Is that okay?
Sure. That's fine.
All right. So then we call her G, okay?
G. Morning, G.
Right. So tell us, what was your experience like going to get this the process? What was it like for you?
The process, okay. My process started last year, where I registered to do the surgery with them, and the doctors were supposed to come back within a couple of months to do it, but unfortunately they didn't come, and we were told that they were going to be visiting us to do the surgery in June this year.
Oh. So wait, hold on one minute. So this whole process started last year. They did the same kind of thing?
Yeah, they did surgeries here last year as well.
Okay, I was not aware. When you were aware of that?
Yeah, but I heard the doctor say that yesterday.
Okay.
That this is not the first time here, and they want to come back next year and maybe every year.
Okay, that is fantastic. Yeah. So go ahead, Jim.
Yes. The only difference is this year. What happened is that the people who registered to do this surgery, by Thursday last week, they were completed, except of course for a few people who had appointments for Monday on here, and they decided to invite everybody to come out and see to try and get the cataract surgery done, and that is.
Oh, that's when the floodgates opened. Is she there still?
Yeah, she's there. I don't know.
So I was so.
We're missing out on what she's saying. So
Okay, I think the call just go a drop. Let me get her back on the inside. Wow. Yeah, the call just dropped for a moment there. Right, I think I got her back. G, you back with us?
Yes, I'm back.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, so Thursday last week they had completed all that you registered people who were registered to do the surgery.
Mm-hmm.
So they decided to invite the public to come and try and get it done, because I mean they have so many days here still to do, and they try to accommodate everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And that is what caused the whole chaos. But I'll tell you something, these guys are very hardworking. They're very organized. I mean, everything runs smoothly. Once you get past all the traffic and the amount of people being there, once they register and they start the process, it is a smooth process.
Guide us through the process, G. Guide us through the process from start to finish.
Okay. The first thing you do is measure your eyes. You do the measurements, and the second thing you do when you come back to do the surgery, they put you through to a room where you go and get your file, and you get the necessary information, the consent form and stuff, and then they carry you down to the surgery area, and there's a long corridor with chairs where you have to be seated and wait and just move up until you reach the end of the corridor. That is where they prep you for the surgery. Mm-hmm. Now there are doctors that put drops in your eyes, give you antibiotics, put on your gown, your hat, and your shoes, the little net shoes they give you to wear, and then they take you to the surgery room. Well, prep you outside of the surgery room, where they give you your lens, and you sit and you wait until you call in to do the surgery. But I'll tell you, the most well, I wouldn't say frightening, but the worst part of the procedure for me was when they had to inject you in your eyes
to see
the area.
Yeah.
Whoa. That was there was no.
You didn't feel it, did you?
It's just the idea of a needle going into your eye.
Yeah. Yeah.
But did you feel anything?
No, you didn't. To be honest, the only pain I felt was like when the anesthetic was wearing off.
Mm-hmm.
Like the day after, when you move your eyes, you're feeling a little irritation, and that's about it. And when you go back the next day to remove the bandage, once they remove the bandage, the pain isn't the irritation isn't really there anymore. It's just that you have to use the eye drops that they give you, and they provide that as well.
Mm-hmm.
They provide that. We have to be on eye drops for the next 6 weeks, and they provide the all the medication for that.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very small amount that you have to pay for it. You have 3 bottles that you have to buy at $20, and you know how expensive eye drops is outside.
Sure, right.
There's nothing cheaper than $100 outside.
Yes, yes.
So the actual length, how long did the actual procedure take?
Well, with me, it took about approximately 10 minutes.
Okay.
The actual surgery itself.
Mm-hmm.
It took about 10 minutes.
And this was one eye, right?
Yes, this is just one eye.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
And in that room, there were 2 patients being operated on.
At the same time?
At the same time, correct.
Right.
Yes.
Wow. Well, we are happy that you got through it. We thank you so much for sharing your experience with us. And well, I guess all you have to do now is follow what your doctors tell you and let the days go by.
And I must thank these Hands International and the volunteers that were there. I mean, they worked overtime. They were there at point. They were praying every step of the way through this. To every point, they were praying us through it. At one point, the lady had a little high blood pressure, and they held on to her and they prayed, and she was able to do the surgery. At Trinidad and Tobago, we have to thank God that these people came here, and they just wanted to serve us in that fashion. And anybody who did not get through, I'm so sorry, but those who have to thank God for this, because it is, in a sense, a miracle what has been done at the Seventh-day Adventist Hospital.
Wow. So at present, how is your eyes feeling right now?
It's good. It's good. It's just a little blurry.
Mm-hmm.
Right, but with the drops that I have, they say it will eventually clear up.
Okay.
And it will take 6 weeks for the medication, and after 6 weeks it should be fine. I should be able to see clearly.
Yeah.
It even told us that if we're having problems, you could always call back or come into them there, in case of emergencies or anything like that. So they're there to help.
Yeah.
And they're doing a fantastic job.
Yes.
I don't know, those doctors, I heard those doctors were there every day from 6 o'clock, and certain days they went even up until 11 p.m. and they're doing the same thing the next day.
Yes,
So
that's what Dr. Egan said, yes.
The great job that they're doing, and I thank God for them. I pray for them every day.
Well, as I said, thank you so much for sharing your experience with us, and we really appreciate it. And
You're welcome.
And all God's blessings with your healing.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. G.
Yeah.
Take care.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you heard it. Yeah, you heard it first time here. She was, because he really did say that they were here last time, but the fact that they're getting this done, I wonder how they will treat. I mean, I listened to her, and I also listened to the doctor yesterday, who's also, of course, a Seventh-day Adventist, and that's a religious organization. I wonder how people who don't believe in God will deal with this. Because she said they've been praying all along the way with them and so on, you know what I mean? So I would imagine it has a heavy religious vibe to it, a religious presence to it.
Yeah. I think that's the right way that you describe it.
Yeah,
a great heavy presence in between there. But we have somebody else online also, another individual. Good morning.
Are you suggesting, Wendell, that non-religious people can't navigate religious people and religious prayers?
No, I'm just wondering how the
people, non-religious people grow up in a planet where they're surrounded by that. Of course, they navigate it.
Right. No, I'm going down that ridiculous road.
No, they'll navigate it. They will go along with the prayers because they understand whatever it is. They understand intellectually that these people need whatever to bridge that, and they go along with it. That's what non-atheist people would do.
Okay.
All right, so we have someone else here. So let me say good morning to Serena. Serena, good morning. How are you doing?
I'm fine. Good morning to you and your host and co-host and everybody else.
Well, but we are glad that you're able to join us this morning. And I know you also would have gone down to the Seventh-day Adventist Hospital to see about the cataract surgery and everything. But I know you went at the point in time when it had the chaos with the amount of people. So tell us about your experience.
I was in the midst of the chaos. I went down there Friday the 15th. I reached 4 a.m. in the morning. I stayed there almost half or a little bit more than half of the day. And then I was given a number to register. After the registration, the coordinator sent us across under a white tent. We were non-registered people were under a yellow tent. We were sent across to this white tent. Mm-hmm. When we went across to the tent, the coordinator said that Sunday morning we'll come back to do the surgery because they had done the measurement on the Saturday evening. So come back Sunday and the surgery will be done. He said we are to sit in the same order based on our numbers. No problem. Everything going nice.
How many people saw, sorry, just interrupt you. How many people saw at that point in time who were under that tent?
Well, my friend had number 205. I had number 4, so it had about 300 and let us say 50 people under that tent.
Oh.
Right?
Wow. Okay.
Right. Okay. So we are sitting there now. The Sunday, we will reach there for 3:30
a.m.
He said we 3:30 in the evening.
Oh, okay.
In the afternoon. In the afternoon, right?
All right.
Right. So now he comes back, and instead of calling us by number or name, because each person's number was on a file. So I had number 4. So I am looking forward, to going in early and so forth. Next thing, he came and said the first 8 get up to go. Everybody got up to charge.
Lord.
What?
Everybody just started a rush in front of the door, the entrance door. And the man at the door is saying, back up, back up, back up. Back up, everybody. You already get in, back up. Nobody don't want to back up searchers. Nobody not backing up.
You can have a little stampede there.
That's right. He said, here what? Nothing going on. Nothing will be done today if that is the behavior. Right? So he said, I am saying people, move back to your left. Move back to the left. Meaning come out from in front of the door and move back to the left. They're moving like snail. They don't want to go at all. Right. He said, let us start again. Everybody line up. Boy, it's chaos again.
So what
he said, well, hear what? Hear what? Hear what? I am going to call for the police. I'm going to call for the police. And the police came. And then there was a little better order. They're still pushing. I never thought old people could push through. all blind and cryptic like myself. I never thought. But anyway, so they're still doing the same thing. Then the security at the door said we were facing in a western direction. He said, hear what? Everybody face east. So there is a turnaround now. We turn around. And instead of going through the glass door, because a lady got her toe cut, he said, turn around, and then somebody came and escorted us up the stairs. That's the Sunday.
But that is
What number you in line? What number in line are you now at this stage?
I had no number. I don't know where I was. All I had to do just get myself and move briskly and so on. Because they stopped using the number system, which was the
so that's what I'm saying. Clearly, the person heard. When the person said the first 8, it meant the first people who had number 1 to 8.
Yeah, that's what.
It's clearly some error took place with the person who was announcing and coordinating that part of it.
No, I think they need to be clear. They needed to say what numbers 1 to 8 step out. Yeah.
I said, sir, what happened to the number system? No, we're not going by number system. We're not going by no number system.
That's crazy.
Right. Yeah. Okay. I said, but this man had to be really a madman. Right? Okay.
Yeah.
So the surgery, the process was very long, because I said people reached there all 12 a.m. the Friday morning, 12 a.m. People left there all after 8 and so forth. But the process was very lengthy. The procedure, the actual cataract procedure, took 5 minutes, Sir Charles.
Yes.
Right.
I was surprised because I thought they're going to take on my eyeball. No, I was a little bit concerned, but it was so simple.
Yeah.
It was so simple.
Yeah.
Right?
But just to get there was the problem for you.
Right. The most hurtful part of it was that needle that they used by your eye to the anesthetic to numb the area. Well, so now that was over. They set the cup back Monday to move the patch. All right. Went back for 3 o'clock, between 3 and 3:30. Monday. Went back Monday. Well, of course, as I said, numbers gone through the door. No one has no number anymore. Right. So people just sitting down. I told you the man who was coordinating the groups, that man made the biggest error. Okay. So we went upstairs now. Same push again the Monday. Same push again. Went back upstairs. When we went back upstairs now, there was this big room and all the chairs there. So everybody took a seat. Wherever you got the seat.
Right.
The security to the front of the door said, everyone will get the opportunity for the service to be done. We are going now to call in batches of 12. 12 person per batch will go in. She's standing by the door. She said, so I am calling from the right and I'm going around like a circle. I had no problems because I know I will end up in let us say the 3rd or the 4th batch, because I checked, I counted the numbers in 12 before me. Right. So everybody's there sitting down. She said the first batch of 12, the first batch got up and went in. They went into the back of the room wherever. Good. After about 20 or 30 minutes, she turned to the next batch and she took people from the left. She did not continue the process.
Oh, gosh. Yes. She was torturing you all, man.
So I said, but what going on here, boy? Those people went in. Bearing in mind, I was supposed to be number 4. I ended up to be. I don't even know what number
you
I
end up
was,
at?
as I told you. Right. When was the second batch now? She said, the second batch of 12. Get up and proceed. People start to run. Thing. I say,
yeah, because I realized you think chaotic.
Russian. God, Trinidadians has a culture of Russian boy. Jesus. Anyway, so Chad, when was the third batch? I get ready like I ready for a marathon. And as she said the third batch,
you move. Yes. You move one time.
Yes. I am not going and sit down there playing I so holy and thou. I done inside, but I was here like Autobot and I inside. So, Charles,
yes.
When I reached inside there, I saw my friend who was 205 inside already. But I was shocked, you know.
Yes.
So I said, come in front me, girl. Yeah, how you mean? Girl, from the time I hear they say, batch, 12 batch, I inside, and she speed off.
Oh, Lord.
You know? So, Charles, hear what I telling you. When I look at all these old decrepit people like myself, who abandoned the stick, who seem to get full 2020 vision, I could not believe that people that age could run through.
You should be Richard Clay.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Something such as in the midst of all of that, I put people in front of me. I put people in front of me when it's chaos. I see a little old man, I step back, I say, come in front of me. Because you're not going by numbers anymore.
Yes.
Right.
Right? Yeah. However, the service is a good one. And something such as, let me finally say this, right? I am asking myself how these people could perform over 300 cataract surgery in one day, and in the hospital, it taking you 3 years before you could get that surgery.
Yeah.
How come they're charging $15,000 and $20,000 for a 5-minute procedure? How is that? If something is wrong, something is clearly wrong, Sir Charles.
Yeah, definitely.
So that was my experience, Sir Charles. What a day.
What are 3 days?
Yeah. So really, before you go, what I want to find out also, the equipment and stuff that they would have had that they're using for this surgery and things, did it look like any major, big, complicated set of equipment and stuff?
All right, such as I can't say, because when I went in, the doctor was behind me. Now, bearing in mind, I cannot really see and I cannot look back. All I felt no machinery of no kind. All I felt, they put something like paper over my eye. Right. That is what I felt. I didn't see. I'm going now with my feelings. The rest, a paper over my eye. It is looking like it was plastic. It looked like a kind of summer. As I say, I could not really see.
Yeah, okay, yeah. That's the sanitizer.
Stimulation was feeling like that. Okay. And then I felt as though they were throwing some substance over the eye. It just felt like if it's water that they threw over the eye for a few minutes. And then after, they moved whatever that was, and then I got up. So it was no big, they didn't put me under no big machine. I just went and lied down on the bed. The doctor was behind me, so I was unable to see any procedure.
Yeah.
How are you post the surgery though? Are you seeing better now? Can you see clearly?
Well, I am seeing. I can see clearly now. The rain is gone.
So the other cars is lady.
No obstacles in my way.
Yeah, we are happy for that.
Before, Such as before, I wasn't seeing anything. Now I see him things shining. Real good.
Right.
Well done.
All right. Well, you just stay on your medication and stay with your dark glasses.
Right. They said do not look down, do not read, do not watch television. Don't, because what the doctor said, a lady who did the operation like the day before had to come back. The eye was bleeding because she went bending down, moving stuff and all sorts of things.
So she started to move one time. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. But Siri, thanks very much for sharing your story with us this morning. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. Because you say this, right? So Charles, here a lady passed, right, man? Or the thousands of us there. She passed. She did not come to do anything. Apparently, she visited the hospital. Here, Hannah, Sir Charles. You know why all you sitting down there? All you don't know why? Because all you're poor.
I mean, yes, we are. That's why we're here.
Nothing wrong with being poor.
Nothing wrong with being poor. All right. A statement or anyhow too, you know.
People like to commentary in Trinidad and Tobago.
Pretty much.
My God.
No, but her experience, of course, could be replicated by hundreds of people who would have had that same experience. Yeah, it started off discipline, it got chaotic, but it ended nicely. You understand? That you find the perfect person to get asked Jory this.
She was very good at retelling the story.
Yes. The color commentary was perfect.
Oh yeah, you can see it. Language wise, you know, and the persons that they put in charge of probably doing that particular area of calling people, making sure you're keeping them in queue and stuff, that totally went awry.
Yeah, come on.
It's the number system. Because if people know, okay, my number is 200, they know, okay, I'll wait until 200.
Yeah.
The time you go out of that system, that person who's number 200 going to rush.
Yes.
But if you keep to the system, people will sit and say, okay, I know how to wait. Yeah.
Because not
I don't have to reach for 330. I can reach probably for 4 because my number is 200, you know?
That'll work.
But that chaos was unnecessary, and that clearly somebody fell down. Someone, maybe a volunteer, fell down in terms of changing that. Because when you say, all right, the first 8, you can't say the first 8. You have to say the persons with numbers 1 to 8.
Yes.
You have to be specific.
You have to be specific.
Yeah.
Because somebody who was 75 could have been in the first 8. They came in first. And they come into it.
Yeah. So you cause unnecessary chaos there. And as she said, old people who couldn't see, who are cane, who are walker, them rushing everybody. I can imagine that scene.
Everything making you move now, you understand? Oh,
oh Lord. Trinidadians are just special, yes?
And yeah, thanks to Cyril and thanks to G for sharing their stories with us today.
I think that's human behavior rather than specific to us.
And at the end of the day, she still allowed more elderly people to go in front of her. That's typical Trinidadian too.
Yeah.
Well, that's good humanity. That's not necessarily unique to Trinidadians.
Well, yeah, but I deal with Trinidadians now. Trinidadians do that unconsciously a lot of times, you know. Especially in the grocery, you would see an elderly person and you say, go ahead in front of me. Don't you do that in Price Mart sometimes or Massey?
I don't see that kind of old people, but I do. I don't know what you
What about, even if it's not older person, what about persons who may have a little 1 or 2 items when you have your 2 trolleys?
Yeah, I let them go in front of me.
One person with 1 or 2 items, I say go ahead.
Yeah.
But I have 1 or 2 items in my hand. I'm actually holding my hand with no trolley. And sometimes people don't say go ahead.
No, don't. Yeah, there are some people who don't say go ahead. You're right.
Yes. They don't say go ahead. Waiting on my trolley, I have 10 items, you will wait. I'm in the face now, you know.
Yeah.
Let's take 2 calls before we wrap up the show this morning. Caller, good morning.
Hi, good morning to Charles, Wendell, Richard.
Morning, Raymond.
Thanks for the sharing the experiences from these patients who got their surgery and everything. And it's good to know that we have people who could contribute and give back to society. Richard, I don't know if you could help me concerning the Caribbean Court of Justice. Would it not benefit the citizens of this country in terms of getting justice? Because to go to the Privy Council, you have to have things, council and accommodation and all this. The Caribbean Court of Justice is in Trinidad and Tobago. How would we be able to join the Caribbean Court of Justice? Is it by...
Well, we are part of the Caribbean Court of Justice, for certain things. But for a lot of for certain things like, let's say, the Treaty of Chagaramas, it's used and stuff like that, which relates to CARICOM. The CCJ is our final court of appeal. But in terms of things like civil matters and certainly criminal matters, we still have retained the Privy Council. Some countries have done away with that. I think Ghana, the CCJ is their last call. They don't do the Privy Council anymore. I think Barbados has also acceded to total CCJ. Right. Jamaica and Trinidad have not.
So who would be responsible in Trinidad and Tobago for doing away with the Privy Council for these items, situations?
That's a legislative thing. That's an act of parliament that would have to be to accomplish.
And is there a special majority to do it, or the government can just go ahead and do it?
I'm not 100% sure. That's something I would have to look at. I think it probably might require a special majority, but off the top of my head, I'm not 100% sure. Right. I'm moving in that direction. That's to be an act of parliament.
Because you see, anyone's trying to do it, but they needed the support from the opposition who said no. But now the opposition is in government and they have the constitutional majority. Why don't they go ahead and do it?
Because they may not align with wanting to, it's just like Jamaica. There are voices that argue against ascendancy to the CCJ. And the CCJ has articulated that they have the expertise to handle any type of case, including, some people believe, for example, some abolitionists may believe that the CCJ will become a hanging court. That because the English-speaking Caribbean countries all have the death penalty still retained. So some believe that it may become a hanging court, will allow and overturn certain decisions. But the CCJ has said that that's a presumption that people are making without any of the facts. That they are there to deal with the interpretation of the law and the assessment of the law in every individual case, which is how it should be. But I think even legal practitioners are divided. So even lawyers are divided on whether to ascend to change from the Privy Council to the CCJ. Even though you are right, it's going to be economically more viable for people to take their appeals to the highest court because it's now going to be within the jurisdiction rather than having to go to the Privy Council. But there's still lawyers divided on the issue of whether or not they want the CCJ to be the final court of appeal in certain matters and whether to retain the Privy Council. So there's still division even in legal circles.
All right, okay, all right, thank you.
All right, no further news on this missing child. Absolutely none. I just wanted, I don't know if Carl M. Jack is listening still. He shared a video yesterday on Facebook with a Maracas Day cool down from since 1994, showing you people dancing on the beach in a cool down, Ash Wednesday cool down from 1994. That's what, 32 years ago? He shared that video. and I'm seeing people I recognize in it. It's not something, but people in long pants and thing, if you see them whining, and that two people up in the tree, up in one of the trees on the beach, whining. Maybe some people. Huh?
Do they still have that?
I don't know, I don't think so. People just go to the beach, but I don't think they have an actual event. But it was a big event back in the day.
Yeah.
That Ash Wednesday cool long. You know?
I remember. Yeah, I was a little boy at the time, but I remember.
Yeah, well, won't we all little boys? But I saw someone, I reckon, and I actually sent the video for them. I said, watch this.
You make them out.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, Robert Allen also sent me a nice video yesterday also with Super Blue in Skinner Park. As I say, he was the first.
Not the one when he had to bend down and scoop up and take up the thing, right?
I didn't mean scoop up.
Behave yourself.
Yeah. But this is
I see Super regularly, right? Super is stopping by us regularly, He always have this a little recorder in his hand, and he always have a tune, Yeah, listen to this. Always, He never stop,
No.
One of the most approachable people you'll meet as a calypso. Super Blue.
Yeah. Very, very much like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, Richard, we getting ready for the scandal next week?
Oh, yep. We certainly are. Scandal and Cedars is on next week. 3 days only. Friday, the 29th, Saturday, the 30th, at 8:30 p.m. and Sunday, the 31st, at 6:30 p.m. Actual end of the month, literally. We are at Cipriani College. We are back at Cipriani College. I know tickets are already selling at all of the outlets. And the outlets, K-Squared Fashions, West Mall, Eastgates, and Brentwood Mall, Jabili Rawe, Tunapuna, Electronics in Arima, Anthony's Florals and Val Park Shopping Plaza, and Shaflin Auto Services in Shaflin, naturally. Tickets will also be available at the box office from Monday, the 25th. Is that the 25th? Yeah. Monday, the 25th of May. The box office at Cipriani College will be open from 12 noon to 6 p.m. daily. Get your tickets early. A certain gentleman called me yesterday and saying, he wants to come maybe. He thought it was on this weekend. I don't know. People don't pay attention to ads, I said, no, it's next week. So he said, okay, we'll come next week Sunday. He said, this is going to be my 4th time seeing the play. So he asked me, when is our next play coming up? I said, well, our next play will happen when we are finished with, running this play. He said, well, they're only not going to stop. I said, why is it that? He said, because people are always going to come to the play. He said, this is my 4th time coming. And he said, every time I enjoy the play. And this is a member of parliament, I'm not going to say who. I say, and on which side. And I'm not going to say on which side.
It's Scotland, I'm sure it's Scotland.
No.
Because he asked me the other day here, when does Richard play? Why Richard doesn't have a play this weekend? Almost like if he has nothing to do. I said, no, it's at the end of the month.
But that can be him. Because I told to tell the person that no, it's at the end of the month. So they told me this is the 4th time that they come into the play. And they said every time they enjoy the play so much. He said, I'm really enjoying this play. So and there are people who have come several times too. No, he's not the only one. You should not miss Scandal in Cedars. If you have not seen it, it's a treat. And of course, at points we keep updating stuff. So we're on next week. Do not miss it. Of course, today is Thursday, so you know what happens at midnight tonight. The weekend begins at midnight tonight. Believe it or not, we are already on Thursday. NETRadioTT.com is where you go to listen to the programming throughout the day. And NETT Radio Trinidad on your smart devices, whether you're on Siri, whether you're on Google, whether you're on Alexa, you get Alexa, don't come alive there, please. And you can listen to the programming. NETT Radio Trinidad is what you say. On TuneIn is where you can get to listen to us throughout the day too, and all of the programming throughout the day. Excellent programming from all of the hosts throughout the day. So this is where we wrap it up. Remember to smile and laugh. It's great for your health, isn't it?
Yep. Folks, have an absolutely wonderful day. Remember to let go and let God.
So this has been
The Breakfast Show.
Get up, it's the time to start the day. The Breakfast Show is here, we bring in the soca way. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Wake up, it's a brand new dawn. The Breakfast Show got the vibes turned